People, what's up, Militant? Hopefully, our people should be creeping up in here. Sylvia, what's going on? We're gonna be getting this thing live, running on tonight. Last night, guys, I apologize for any people that come on YouTube or come in X. Last night, we got hit with a power outage and lost lights, and that killed the actual YouTube stream that we had. On top of messing up the actual X as well too. So guys, hopefully tonight we won't have those issues. Hopefully tonight we won't have those issues. I'm hoping. In Florida though, the weather sometimes does get crazy here. So shout out Tony. I see Tony say she's listening on YouTube. So Tony, if you're listening on YouTube, definitely go ahead and share the actual space and the broadcast tonight. What's up, Avenge as well? We're gonna be talking about Donald Trump swung by a black church in Detroit and proceeded to rip immigrants. He talked about them harming black people and taking jobs, and we're going to be talking about that tonight. So shout out to all my people coming up in here, Militant Avenge. The rest of our people, they'll be up here in a second. We're going to go ahead and get this thing rolling here in just a second. I hope that the actual reception, everything is cool up in here. I know sometimes make sure you guys see some of you guys popping in, popping out. So guys, let me know if you guys having any connection issues getting up in the actual space tonight as well too. Let me know. We'll try, if so, then we'll try to go ahead and do something real quick. I don't know what you can really do with the way these spaces been running lately. There is an update. Yes, there is an update in the app, guys. So make sure you update your app because there is an update. Silver just went ahead and said that. So yes, update your app, guys. That will help. Update your app. That will help with the actual issues that you may experience. Others outside of that, there's nothing really we can do to control what goes on here on X. We are live streaming on YouTube as always. We're live streaming the actual X space /podcast. We're streaming it to our people over there on YouTube. For my people over there on YouTube, I hope you guys, if you guys definitely catch that broadcast last night. Like I said, we lost power because we had an outage in the city, in the neighborhood. So definitely catch that. Hey, man, we gotta make sure we stay up to date with these apps, man. They come every they don't come once a week. They come once every couple of weeks or whatever. So you gotta stay up to date with these apps and stuff as well too. So shout out to all you guys coming up in here. And yeah, I want to go ahead tonight and I want to talk about the situation with Donald Trump. He's in the key battleground state of Michigan. They're trying to go ahead and solidify his spot up there in Michigan. And of course, Joe Biden won by barely a nose in the last election 4 years ago. I think a couple points separated them in the actual election. So they're trying to go out there and they're trying to go ahead and energize the bases as much as possible. And he was throwing some daggers. Trump was throwing some daggers in front of the actual black congregation. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share up on them and let a few of our people get up in here. Shout out to, who's that, Daughter of Zion? Shout out to you, Daughter of Zion. Shout out to Gatekeeper as well, too, guys. Make sure you got your app updated because X did send out the updates today. So if you're not updated, you may have some issues with connection and staying in the space. So make sure that your app is actually updated, everybody. Matter of fact, this is what Silver just said. He said, this is what it's saying. Trump says illegal is showing just the co-host. Let me see if I can close it out again real quick. Go ahead, DJ. You got your hand up. I'm trying to.
Update your app or whatever. But here's the problem: when you update, you got to make sure you restart your phone too at the same time, because applications are programs, so program doesn't actually take effect, or the update doesn't take effect until technically you restart your device, computer, cell phone, tablet, all the same thing, all do the same thing. Woo. And if you're not on over here or X can't get in here or whatever the case be, come on over to either YouTube or come over to social. We're live on the YouTube and on the social.
That's what's up. I just sent a text, or not a text, but an actual post telling everybody to update your phone and restart it as well, too, guys. So update and restart. Keep that in mind. I want to go Silver. If you got a chance, update your phone and restart it as well too. Once you put that update, go ahead and restart it. That will help. That will help with the issue. So real quick from the people over here, because I know some of our people may be having some connection issues. And like I said, I don't know exactly what to do on that end. I'll try to go ahead and restart this real quick. I'll close it out, open it back up, but it's mainly on the actual user. So I'll go ahead and try to do that as a way to see if that can help any. But it's pretty much on our people. You got to go ahead and you got to make sure you stay up to date with technology, guys. I know they send out all these notifications, but definitely let's try to stay up to date. DJ, can you hear me?
Yeah, you good.
All right. So let me go ahead, guys, real quick, and I want to touch up on this article real quick. We're not going to have a long space tonight, but we will be up in here. It says Trump blasts immigrants for taking jobs as he courts voters at a black church MAGA event in Detroit. This is from our curation partner, Neo Jim Crow. The article's in the Jumbotron. Also, the article on YouTube is up in the description. Donald Trump blamed immigrants for stealing jobs and government resources as he courted separate groups of black voters and hardcore conservatives in battleground Michigan on Saturday. The Republican former president also made several new baseless claims attacking the nation's voting system. But Trump's fiery comments on illegal immigration, long a staple in his unapologetic message, marked a connecting theme in downtown Detroit as he sought to stitch together a delicate political coalition at both a black church and a group known to attract white supremacists. The people coming across the border, all those millions of people, they're inflicting tremendous harm to our black population and to our Hispanic population, Trump told a cheering crowd of thousands of conservative activists packed into a vast convention hall. They're not human beings, they're animals, he said later in referencing members of the violent immigrant gangs. Trump's diverse weekend schedule underscores the evolving political forces shaping the presidential election this fall as he tries to deny Democratic President Joe Biden a second term. Few states may matter more in November than Michigan, which Biden carried by less than 3 percentage points 4 years ago. And few voting groups matter more to Democrats than African Americans, who made up the backbone of Biden's political base in 2020. But now, less than 5 months before Election Day, black voters are expressing modest signs of disappointment with the 81-year-old Democrat. I would say it's more than modest signs of disappointment with him. Trump, who turned 78 on Friday, is fighting to take advantage of his apparent opening. His crowd was far smaller, but also warmly receptive when he visited the 180 church earlier in the day. Derelict vehicles sat outside the modest brick building with Black American for Trump signs affixated. Rap music and barbecue smoke wavered from the pre-event gathering organized by the Black Conservative Federation Group. It is very important for us, Trump told the church crowd, which included a significant number of white people. He promised to return some Sunday for a sermon. He argued that the black community is being hurt by immigrants in the country illegally. They're evading and taking your jobs, he said. Trump offered a similar message later in the day while addressing the People's Convention of Turning Point Action, a group that the Anti-Defamation League says has been linked to a variety of extremists. Roughly 24 hours before the former president spoke, well-known white supremacist Nick Fuentes entered the hall surrounded by a group of cheering supporters. Security quickly escorted him out, but Fuentes created political problems for Trump after attending a private lunch with the former president and the rapper formerly known as Kanye West at Trump's Florida estate in 2022. Turning Point has emerged as a force in GOP politics in the Trump era, particularly among his Make America Great movement. Despite the Anti-Defamation League warning, that group continues to attract racists. Numerous individuals associated with the group have made bigoted statements about the Black community, the LGBT community, and other groups. The ADL, an international anti-hate group, wrote in the background memo, while TPUSA, Turning Point USA leaders say they reject white supremacist ideology. Known white nationalists have attended their events. Turning Point spokesman Andrew Cavalt dismissed the ADL's characterization as smears and lies. He added that Turning Point has been blocking Fuentes from attending its events for years. The ADL is a scourge on America, which sows poison and division. They're completely lost the plot, Colvin said, describing the ADL's criticism as a badge of honor. Meanwhile, Democrats offered a competing perspective from afar. Donald Trump is so dangerous for Michigan and dangerous for America and dangerous for black people, said Michigan Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist II, who is African American. He called it offensive for Trump to address the Turning Point Conference, which was taking place at the same convention center that was the epicenter of the Still the Election effort. Indeed, dozens of angry Trump loyalists chanting "Stop the Count" descended on the TCF Center, now named Huntington Place, the day after the 2020 presidential election, as absentee ballots were being counted. Local media captured scenes of protesters outside and in the lobby. Police prevented them from entering the counting area. The protests occurred after Trump had tweeted that they're finding black votes they're finding Biden votes all over in several states, including Michigan. The false notion that Biden benefited from the widespread voter fraud has been widely debunked by voting officials in both parties, the court system, and members of Trump's former administration. Still, Trump continues to promote such misinformation, which echoed throughout the conservative convention over the weekend. Speaking from the main stage, Trump Turning Point founder and CEO Charlie Kirk falsely described the conference location as a scene of the crime. DJ, I said we got Professor coming up here, so let Professor get up here. As a scene of the crime. We need to watch the vote. We need to guard the vote. Trump charges so corrupt the whole election process. Such extreme rhetoric does not appear to have hurt Trump's standing with black voters. Among black adults, Biden's approval has dropped from 94% when he started his term in January 2021 to just 55%, according to the Associated Press. NORC Center for Public Affairs research poll published in March. About 8 in 10 black voters have an unfavorable opinion of Trump, with roughly 2/3 saying they have a very unfavorable view of him, according to the Associated Press NORC poll conducted in June. Trump won 8% of the black vote in 2020, according to the AP Votecast, and in what is expected to be a close election, even a modest shift could be consequential. Omar Mitchell, a Detroit restaurant owner who participated in the church gathering, said he supports Trump because money was pumping when he was president. In the old days, how we grew up was just because you're black means you're Democrat. Mitchell said that's out the doorways now. Trump argues he can pull in more black voters due to his economic and border security message, and that his felony indictments make him more relatable. At the church on Saturday afternoon, he repeatedly vowed to bring back the auto industry, while also noting the crime is the most rampant here in African-American communities. Kimberly Taylor, who was invited on stage at the church by a Trump campaign, thanked Trump for coming to the hood, while Pastor Lorenzo Swell said Biden attended an NAACP dinner in the city but never came to the hood. The pastor asked Trump how to keep the black dollar in the black community. The black community, Trump said, needs to stop the crime. And I said a lot of you guys, I said a lot of people popping in and popping out. So are y'all having issues coming into the space? Because I see everybody coming in and coming out. So I know before we had issues and stuff. So how's everybody's connections and stuff? Because everybody seems to be popping in, popping out. Professor, did you have any issues coming in? Can y'all?
No, actually, it seems to be working fine for me, man. Seems like it. So, but I do notice that everybody is popping in and popping out. So.
Yeah, I see no taxation. She said that she's getting a message saying that the space is ended. So, yeah, we're having. Yeah, we. Okay, Ramon said I got kicked out of the Twitter space on YouTube as well too. So apparently, I don't know. I don't know if everybody updated their phone or not. I'm not entirely sure what's going on.
WPI, is there an update for the app? I didn't see one.
Yeah, I updated today. I updated today.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let me check though. Let me make sure.
What I could do, since
it's an update there, Professor.
well, DJ, you think maybe I should try to go ahead and restart the space up again? Because that seems to be the only thing. When I do that, that seems to help. I don't know.
I'm gonna be straight with you, bro. I don't really think that's always the reason. You know what I'm saying? Folks be up in these Twitter spaces all day long. Yeah, work all day on your phone. You traveling around the neighborhood all day on your phone. Your phone network get clogged up. You gotta learn how to start, fixing, correcting your phone. That's really what it boils down to.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what's up. I'm not, because like I said, I see people coming in and out. We should have more people in here, but everybody's been coming. They be here for a second and they disappearing. So I don't know if the only thing I could think of is trying to restart it. If I clear the storage, it'll automatically the space will automatically end. So that's the only thing I can really think about, to be honest. Is just trying to restart it that way. Outside of that, I'm not sure what else we can do, because everybody seems to be having, not everybody, but a lot of us are having issues staying up in the space. So I'm debating if I want to go ahead and clear the storage that automatically ended, and then just go ahead and start the space back up.
Yeah, Newstoter, I mean, it's up to you, man. But see, people leave it out right now. So yeah, you might have to just go ahead and do it, man, because there's people that every time you look around, they popping in, then they pop right back out. So.
All right. Well, y'all go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna try to clear the storage. I don't know if I even need to clear the storage, but I may try to clear the storage because I cleared the cache. Because I went ahead and got the new app and cleared and everything else. Wani, she's up in here. I wonder, is Wani, put your hand up if you're having issues that she's popping out too. So yeah, let me go ahead, guys, and try to go ahead and end this thing and start it right back up and see if that might make a difference.
Okay.
All right. For my people on YouTube, hold still. We're going to go ahead and get this thing started back up. Let me go ahead and try to clear the cache. We're discussing the situation with Donald Trump going to the black church. I'll see if it'll make any difference by us trying to open a new space and starting it up or whatever. But at this point in time, I'm not really sure. Like I said, a lot of times our people I don't know if they got the new update or whatever, but we're going to go ahead and start this new space up and see. We got a new space going, so our people should be coming in. Ramon, I just started a new one up. I'll see if that makes a difference. All I did was just end the other one and start the new one up, so we'll see if that'll make a difference. We will see. But for you guys, definitely on YouTube, guys, definitely if you missed last night's space podcast, go back and listen to it. The Brandon Johnson space about Chicago starting starting their own reparation study and all this other garbage. Go ahead and check that one out last night. Unfortunately, like I said, we got hit with a power outage and lost power. So I'm hoping I just went ahead and started this one here up. So hopefully we can see if I can get my people to come up in here as well too. Let's see what's up here. These spaces have lately, man, they have been garbage. They have been just horrible, just bad. Stephanie, have you had any issues getting up in the space? I had to stop the last one. I know you're on listener, but if you got in with no problems this time, give me a thumb up. Okay, we got Iron Malt up in here, so I'm hoping by starting this new space up, we won't have the same connection issues we just had. So okay, our people are popping up in here, so it looks like by ending the other space that this may have helped with the actual connection. Guys, go ahead and retweet it out. Iron Malt Silver, Stephanie, go ahead and retweet it out for the fam. Let everybody know we back. We started up. We back here. So hopefully that'll make a difference. I'm hoping. What's going on with you, I am Mo?
Not much, man. But I've been noticing they even had like a space for it. Black folks on here have been having problems and issues on their spaces, or if they say something on here, they get a little ban to them. Saying they had one guy was talking about he this hashtag anti-blackness and got a couple of days off. But these folks on here can use the hard ER, and nothing happened to them, because I complained several times about several different people pointing guns or saying the hard ER and everything else, and they just say we don't see no policy violated. So that's kind of my take on what's going on today and why spots getting shut down.
Appreciate that. My space has been the last couple of weeks, man. I don't know how many spaces I've had to restart, and it's just been crappy lately, man. I don't know what's going on. Black Pressure, what's up? What's going on with you, bro? I see you up in here. Since you guys just coming here, we talking about Donald Trump at the actual black church. And I may have to go ahead and cover that a little bit more, because you guys were out. We had connection issues while a lot of our people were popping in, popping out. So I couldn't take it. I was like, let me just go ahead and start a new space up. But yeah, Donald Trump was in Michigan, Detroit. He was trying to, he's trying to go ahead. It's a battleground state. He's trying to secure the actual black base up there, or at least get a significant portion of them to go ahead and deflect from the actual Democratic Party and Joe Biden. And during his speech, he at times, he took shots talking about immigrants. He said, immigrants are basically coming to the country and taking jobs from black people and harming the black community as well too. So, Trump was trying to go there. He was saying that he feels that because of his politics on the border and whatnot, that he has black people support him because of his economic and border policies, that black people actually support him, which is I think a lot of black people do in terms of up there, especially when you're talking about, and of course I know it's a different state. In Illinois, we see what's going on in Chicago. We see a lot of black people say they've had enough with a lot of the illegals coming there. But Trump is trying to strike a chord with the black people as well too, saying that, hey, you know what, I'm with you on this border thing, that we ain't gonna just let people run roughshod. We ain't gonna just let people come up in here. We're gonna start checking them. So that's got people thinking one way or another too, man. So I'm trying to see exactly how people feel about this. I want to touch up on the article just real quick, because the space was so janky before, man, that I just couldn't. Every time, I was reading, but people were just popping in and popping out, and they just didn't have a chance to actually hear what I was saying. But Trump blasts immigrants. This is from the Neo Jim Crow. I'm going to read it really quick. I may not read the whole thing, but I just want to give you guys a heads up. Trump blasts immigrants for taking jobs as he courts voters at a black church MAGA event in Detroit. Donald Trump blamed immigrants for stealing jobs and government resources as he courted several groups of black voters and hardcore conservatives in the battleground state of Michigan on Saturday. The Republican former president also made several new baseless claims attacking the nation's voting system. But Trump's fiery comments on illegal immigration, long a staple in his unapologetic message, marked the connection theme in downtown Detroit as he sought to stitch together a delicate political coalition at both a black church and a group known to attract white supremacists. The people coming across the border, all those millions, they're inflicting tremendous harm to our black population and to our Hispanic population, Trump told a cheering crowd of thousands of conservative activists packed into a vast convention hall. They're not human beings, they're animals, he said later, in referencing members of violent immigrant gangs. Trump's diverse weekend schedule underscores the evolving political forces shaping the presidential election this fall as he tries to deny Democratic President Joe Biden a second term. Few states matter more in November than Michigan, which Biden carried by less than 3 percentage points 4 years ago. They expect this to be another close barn burner between them as well. And few voting groups matter more to Democrats than African Americans, who made up the backbone of Biden's political base in 2020. But now, less than 5 months before the election day, black voters are expressing modest signs of disappointment with the 81-year-old Democrat. Let's be for real. It's more than just modest signs of disappointment. You got a lot of black people that's pissed off straight up. Trump, who turned 78 on Friday, is fighting to take advantage of his apparent opening. His crowd was far smaller, but also warmly receptive when he visited the 180 church earlier in the day. Old vehicle sat outside the modest brick building with Black Americans for Trump signs affixated, rap music, barbecue smoke, wafted from pre-event gathering organized by a Black conservative federal group. It is very important for us, Trump told. I think we got Mark trying to request to come up here, so let him get on up here. It is very important. It is a very important area for us, he told the church crowd, which included a significant number of white people. He promised to return someday for a sermon. He argued that the Black community is being hurt by immigrants in the country illegally. They're invading, taking your jobs, he said. Trump offered a similar message later in the day while addressing the People's Convention, a turning point action, a group that the Anti-Defamation League says has been linked to a variety of extremists. Roughly 24 hours before former president spoke, well-known white supremacist Nick Fuentes entered the hall surrounded by a group of cheering supporters. Security quickly escorted him out, but Fuentes created political problems for Trump after attending a private lunch with the former president and the rapper formerly known as Kanye West at Trump's Florida state in 2022. Turning Point has emerged as a force in the GOP politics in the Trump era, particularly among his Make America Great movement, despite the Anti-Defamation League's warning that the group continues to attract racists. Numerous individuals associated with the group have made bigoted statements about the Black community, LGBTQ, and other groups. The ADL, an international anti-hate group, wrote in the background memo, while TPUSA leaders say they reject white supremacist ideologies. Known white nationalists have attended their events. Turning Point spokesman Andrew Kavok dismissed the ADL's characterization as smears and lies. He added that the Turning Point has been blocking Fuentes from attending the event for years. The ADL is a scourge on America, which sows poison and division. They completely lost the plot, he said, describing the ADL's criticism as a badge of honor. Meanwhile, Democrats offered a competing perspective from afar. Donald Trump is so dangerous for Michigan and dangerous for America and dangerous for Black people, said Michigan Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist II, who is African American. He called it offensive for Trump to address the Turning Point conference, which was taking place at the same convention center that was the epicenter of the election effort. Indeed, dozens of angry Trump loyalists chanting "Stop the Count" descended on the TCF Center, now named Huntington Place, the day after the 2020 presidential election, as absentee ballots were being counted. Local media captured scenes of protesters outside in the lobby. Police prevented them from entering in the court area. The protests occurred after Trump had tweeted that they were finding Biden votes all over in several states. So I see we got our people up in here. I see Mark is up here as well, too. I'm not going to read anymore. I think that you guys pretty much get it. I'll just touch up on something real quick. It says the false notion that Biden benefited from widespread voter fraud has widely been debunked by voting officials in both parties, the court system, and members of Trump's former administration. Still, Trump continues to promote such misinformation, which echoed throughout the conservative convention over the weekend. Speaking from the main stage, Turning Point founder and CEO Charlie Kirk falsely described the conference location as the scene of the crime, pitching the conversation forward. Trump raised the possibility of election fraud this fall. We need to watch the vote. We need to guard the vote, Trump charges. So corrupt the whole election process. Such extreme rhetoric does not appear to have hurt Trump's standing with Black voters. Among Black adults, Biden's approval has dropped from 94% when he started his term in January 2021 to just 55%. According to the Associated Press NORC Center for Public Affairs research poll published in March, about 8 in 10 Black voters have an unfavorable opinion of Trump, while roughly 2/3 say they have a very unfavorable view of him, according to an AP NORC poll conducted in June. Trump won 8% of the Black vote in 2020, according to the AP vote cast, and in what is expected to be a close election, even a modest shift could be consequential. Omar Mitchell, a Detroit restaurant owner who participated in the church gathering, said he supports Trump because money was pumping when he was president. In the old days, how we grew up was just because you're Black means you're Democrat, Mitchell said. That's out the door nowadays. Trump argues he can pull in more black voters due to his economic and border security message and that his felony indictments make him more relatable. At the church on Saturday afternoon, he repeatedly vowed to bring back the auto industry while also noting the crime is most rampant right here and in African-American communities. Kimberly Taylor, who was invited on stage at the Church by Trump campaign, thanked Trump for coming into the hood, while Pastor Lorenzo Swell said Biden attended an NAACP dinner in the city but never came to the hood. The pastor asked Trump how to keep the black dollar in the black community. The black community, Trump said, needs to stop the crime. So there we are. Shout out to all you guys. I see we're not having the connection issues we once was. So shout out for you up, for all you guys up in the space. Please go ahead and retweet the space out. Retweet the space out. I got Mark up here. I am Original Professor. Anybody else that wants to speak as well, too, feel free. I see my girl Trouble down there. Shout out to Wani. Shout out to No Taxation. Black Pressure was up here. Pressure, you get a chance, come back up here. Shout out to all you that's up in the space. Like I said, definitely go ahead and retweet it out. Now, Mark, I know you're not in Michigan, but you ain't that far away. I don't know how far Illinois is from Michigan, and we already know that how you guys are standing up there and the way you're actually fighting against a lot of the illegal immigrants coming into your city. What's your opinion? What's your views on Trump coming up there and basically telling the church, a black church, that, hey, you know, these illegals are coming to the country, they're taking your jobs and they're harming the black community, they're basically stealing resources from you. What's your opinion on that, Mark? I know you don't have your hand up, but I would like to hear what you got to say about that if you got time to speak. I'm not sure if you're in the space. I know you're up in the speaker section, but I would.
What are you asking?
Yeah, what's your opinion about Trump telling the black church that the one that he visited on Saturday in Michigan, that, hey, these illegals are coming up here, these illegal immigrants are coming up here and they're stealing your jobs, they're harming the black community, and they're taking resources away from you guys, basically?
So when you go back to the inception of the immigrant movement, go back to the early 1900s, it's always been used to do exactly what he's telling you. They're brought here to undermine and replace us. They said in the Davis-Bacon Act of 1931 that black Americans would never be the workforce of America ever again. And these were immigrants that orchestrated this move. The Irish, the Italians, the Jewish community, they all worked together after slavery to burn our towns down. These are the conversations that are not being had. And when you go and look at that, you understand what's happening right now today, where they bring these Venezuelans and all these other Cubans and all these other groups here to do just what they did back then. Trump tried to tell the people January 6th that if you allow them to, if they steal the election, then they're going to flood the country with immigrants. He didn't just say that they were going to steal the election. He said that they were going to flood the country with immigrants. And because these black Democrats are so entrenched, because of deals that they're making, and I ain't talking about no everyday people. Everyday people, they just vote Democrat because it's a brainwashing for them. I'm talking about these people that are in the in crowd, the talented 10, and all of them. These people are pro the progressive agenda, which is to bring immigrants in to undermine us. They did it in the 90s. Look at the 90s with welfare, not just welfare reform and the crime bill, but mainly with NAFTA. When Joe Biden sent all the jobs across seas, Bobby rushed them and all of them didn't have anything to say about it. And what was it about then? Our generation had come of age and we were starting to go into the workforce. Joe Biden, before he would put our generation to work, shipped all the jobs overseas. And when Trump said bring the corporations back, what did Joe Biden get in office to do? He brought the immigrants back with the jobs. And once again, the talented 10th and all these secret society black folks and those that are pushing this progressive agenda look the other way. And they're in support of it.
All right. Appreciate that, Mark. Appreciate that. Let me go ahead and get to Black Pressure. Pressure, what's going on with you?
What's up with the news?
What's up now?
Man, chilling on some black family. I'm going to say this. I'm going to come off the top rope behind Mr. Mark Carter. what Donald Trump is doing, all it sounds good. It sounds great. You know, kind of like Mark alluded to, it's just talk. These people come along every 4 years and they promise everyone else they promise. They tell us they're going to do everything under the sun. But I'm going to say this, and I'm going to keep it to the title of the room. When I see Trump issue an executive order and they start rolling them M939 military transport vehicles through these sanctuary cities, load up illegals, either take them back to the border or load them on a cargo plane and send them back to where they came from, I ain't believing none of it. And I'm mute up and listen.
All right. Appreciate you coming up here, Pressure. Yeah, I kind of want to see exactly what's going to happen as well, too, because we see countless times we see the actual we seen some of these governors what's the fool name and take Abbott and the fool down here in Florida, and he's my damn governor, DeSantis. Abbott and DeSantis, a lot of times they would sit up here and they would go ahead and they load these buses up and they'll take them and they'll ship them up north to what they consider liberal type cities. But my thing was like, if you can load them up and put them on the bus, why not just go ahead and take them right back across the border? If you're that serious about cracking down on illegal immigration, all you're doing is sitting up here is bringing them to another city. And I know people say, well, you know, these are democratic cities and they want them, but hey, man, that's still tax dollars, American tax dollars still being used to house them and feed them and clothe them and transport them and everything else like that too. So if you was really true to it like that, just go ahead and send them back and say, you know what, we caught some illegals entering the country illegally, and we decided to go ahead and ship them and send them right back to their homeland. That would kick.
No. They can't stop them down there. So he said that since y'all keep pushing this shit and won't help me stop them, then I'm gonna bring them up there to y'all since you say that you're a sanctuary city, right? It was Joe Biden after Title 42 expired that said let them flow. So they can't stop it because the federal government. Did you see those military soldiers letting them people just flood into the country? Y'all haven't seen that? That was Joe Biden doing that. And so it wasn't about Abbott just bringing them here to Chicago. It was Abbott saying to the Democrats that since y'all say it's cool when they flood my state and I can't stop them, then I'm going to bring them to y'all goddamn states. I'm going to bring them to the Hamptons. Okay? So he did the right thing. They said they're sanctuary cities. They did the right thing. And I'm glad they did it in Chicago. You know why? Because it woke all of these snake-ass black leaders up.
Try not to curse, Mark, but go ahead. Try not to curse, but go ahead.
Oh, excuse me. So it woke them up, but not just so much them. It woke the people up. Because I'm not worried about the so-called black leaders. It woke the people up. Because the people weren't experiencing what Abbott was experiencing. You know, we tend to say that's them. That's happening to them. But when they start seeing them land in those in front of those police stations, it changed everybody's mindset here, especially the baby boomers. And we talking about a group that don't get involved with nothing. Oh, they rose up when they say they're gonna put them at South Shore. They rose up when they say they're gonna put them in Austin. This is where the working class and the middle and upper middle class black folks live at. As long as they do it to poor black folks, they cool with it. But when you start trampling on the so-called black elite, now it's a problem. No, it was a problem before it happened to you. And so good that they're doing it to you. So I want to see them go through it like everybody else is going through it. So that was a good thing that he did, and then put pressure on them to where they had to get up and fight.
All right. Thank you, Mark. Let me go ahead. I'm going to come back to you too, Mark. Let me go ahead and get to, we're going to get to that Negro trouble and black pressure. That Negro, what's going on with you? How you doing tonight, sir?
All right, Brother Newstoter, I appreciate you. Coach Dan and DJ, brother, I appreciate y'all. This is going to be the most memorable time I've said that in your room. Real talk. Peace, power, and American Negro reparations, specifically for the Black American Negro freedmen who built this country with slave labor per the land's promise in Special Field Order 15, January 16th, 1865. So I have a link to the Savvy Sab show along with Savvy Sabs and JB. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that podcast, but we have a link. Brother Marcel Dixon, myself, and Brother Khalif will be speaking on reparations and how that will affect our people and why it's mandatory for Americans to support that. I believe what is said on that show is going to change the world. And at the end of my submission in that show, I'm going to show all of us right here from my hood that I grew up in, respecting, looking up to, and ended up becoming a part of. So I'm going to show it right here how we can do this, get reparations. And once this catches and people are like, damn, that damn mulatto, if they hated a mulatto before, they're going to hate me after that show on Thursday, the 20th, Thursday the 20th at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And like I said, please show your support. I'll put it up in the Jumbotron. But like I said, I am about to expose completely how we get reparations. It don't come from legislation, just like I've been saying. It don't come from voting blue or red, just like I've been saying. It comes from our people being collective and doing what the hell we should have been doing from the jump. Like I said, I want y'all to come, so I ain't going to expose it here. But I promise you, we do this, and we'll have reparations within 2 months. That is a promise to everybody I respect. And again, if they hated the mulatto Negro before, they gonna really hate me after this one, because I'm looking for thousands of people to be in this room and hear how to do it, and then watch that mulatto work. Again, thank you guys for letting me speak. I'll put that up in the Jumbotron, and please come show your support to the Savvy Sab show. Marcel Dixon, myself, and Brother Kai. You guys, I don't know if everybody knows it. Brother Irie. We're the three guest speakers on the show. And come show your love. And definitely learn how we can really get reparations real quick. I'll yield right there. Thanks, Newstoter.
No problem. And you can also put it in the comment section as well, too, that Negro, if you want to go ahead and put in the Jumbotron and put it in the comment section as well, too. So thank you for coming up here. Let me go ahead and get to Miss Trouble. Trouble, what's going on with you tonight?
Hey, brother, how you doing? I'm in the store. Can you go to the next speaker right quick?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and get the Black Pressure. Black Pressure, go ahead, because Trouble, she's in the store.
Yeah, you sure?
Yeah, you got it. Yeah,
okay. All right. I didn't know if they had no other hands up before. Okay. So I was going to say that I know in your spaces in particular, news, and I'm speaking about myself, we've had some very heated debate about holding the position of the government. I still take the federal government as sovereign over the state governments, but there are people who believe that there are people that believe that the federal government is some type of do-nothing group that has no power over the states. So I kind of expound on what Mr. Mark Carter said. And I'll say this, before I start my narrative, Greg Abbott is an inbred redneck Klansman. Just for anybody that thinks I'm trying to align myself with Greg Abbott. Yes, I'm a Texan, but I'm not trying to align myself with Greg Abbott. But the credit I will give him is he did make an attempt to curb that flow of illegal immigration that Joe Biden greenlit. So what he did, he sent those mini tanks, and he sent the National Guard down to the border, right? And he was going to stop that flow of those illegal immigrants that they were just coming through in waves. The federal government threatened the state of Texas, and guess what the state did? They stopped. So, like I said, I know we've had these debates before, like, the federal government is some kind of lame duck organization, but they actually made the state of Texas, they actually made Greg Abbott and the state of Texas stop trying to thwart that influx of illegal immigration. And I'll mute up and listen.
All right. Appreciate that, Black Pressure Trouble. You ready now? I see you got your hand back up.
Yeah, I'm ready. Can you all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, let me sit in some weird spots. So, I think it's highly disrespectful for Trump to go to a black church and spew the lies and BS that they continue to do. And it's not really even just a Trump thing. It's a political party thing, because the Democrats have a bad habit of going to the churches as if the churches in 2024 still speak for Black America. For him to answer the pastor when the pastor said, how are you going to keep money into the Black communities, to say stop the crime? Okay, well, now let's do a deep dive into what causes crime. Why do we have crime? Why do we have so much crime? And again, how does that keep money inside of our communities? That's a non-answer. And that's what Trump has did the last time he got in office, and it's continuing now that he's trying. They don't have any real solutions for us. None. Neither party does. And my whole thing with the whole Trump and the whole Biden, everybody, got to vote one way or the other. Why? You're talking about white supremacists and two presidents, Biden and Trump, whose main objective is to uphold the system of white supremacy at all costs. They're going to do things on each end that might be slightly different from the other, but they pat each other's on the booty in the background in collaboration with each other against who? Black Americans and anybody and any other corporate folks. My thing is, how come they don't highlight on the media or even show them where they're going to white churches and talking to the white folks? Because if the immigrants are coming here to steal our jobs, aren't they going to steal some jobs from them too? Yes, absolutely. And are they stealing our jobs, or are you suckers giving our jobs away? They're not stealing nothing. They're being handed. They're not stealing our resources. Let's wake it up and tell the whole truth. Y'all are giving them our resources. They don't have to steal anything because y'all are giving it to them. I'm tired of the disingenuousness coming from both parties, and I'm tired of black folks, quite frankly, falling for the 52 fake out. We want to get away from the Democratic Party so bad that we're willing to trade up with the Republicans who's never, ever offered us anything, or even cared to offer us anything, or care about us getting anything. Why? Because it's a system of white supremacy, and we act like we don't understand what system it is. It isn't about black folks getting up and getting policies that matter to us. They want a slave class of people, and it pretty much started with COVID. They killed a bunch of Americans off so that they could justify bringing these illegal immigrants over by saying, hey, we need a new working class of people. They need people that's going to come over here, and yes, sir, ma'am, because they know that with them green cards and those work permits, that they can't talk no trash. You can't talk no trashy, because we deport to you. So you're going to take that abuse from these companies with the low pay or whatever they decide to pay you. And you're going to have us in the background fighting like this is the Hunger Games or something, where y'all are giving everything away. It's being done purposely by both parties. I live in a red state. I've seen the influx of immigrants that's come inside my city and my state since the onslaught of COVID, hell, before COVID. And I just really think that it's disingenuous. Yeah, Trump two things can be true. He can get up there and say some true things about, the immigrants coming and, it ain't going to be good for black people. But what you talking about policy-wise? Because what you're talking about, the things that you're naming that you did for the black community, if we do a deep dive into that and really tell the truth about that, you didn't do anything when you was in office. And the people that's for Trump don't like to tell the truth about it because, hey, he's talking about getting rid of these illegals, and that's what we need to focus on. Like, that's the only thing we need to focus on. But I'm gonna let y'all have it. I'm gonna let y'all have it because people been getting mad at me online when I say, what is the point of your post? What is the point of you posting that because you don't like what I say about Trump? You ain't gotta like it because I don't like some of the dumb stuff that y'all be saying either. I just think it's disingenuous that once again we got a bunch of people that's leading our people into another burning house. The house still burning. Y'all trying to take us all the way to the back of the house so we can burn even more. We can burn a little harder, we can burn a little faster.
So if I can respond to you.
No, you can't because I'm still
hold on, Mark, because we got some new speakers up too. I'm gonna get to you, but hold on 1 second, Mark. But go ahead, Trouble.
So you did your little rant. Let me do my rant because everybody knows I'm coming on here to rant and rave because I don't like neither party. And I'm just tired of the disingenuousness. And so I'm like my brother Original now. Y'all can have this election thing. Y'all can have it. And I'm gonna be chilling with Black Pressure in November. Black Pressure, I got an invitation because I'm coming to sit in front of the big screen.
Man, and I'm finna change out the furniture in the man cave next week.
Okay, change it out, boo boo. Let's get lit. Okay, because this is some BS. They're not offering us anything but more of a non-neglect, and they're wrapping it in a pretty package. It seems like our people love when people come out and say things that speak to our soul, that speak to us. They're nowhere upset about these immigrants. So you're constantly harping on the immigrant situation, but what about our women that's dying having birth? What about the other things that is plaguing the Black community? What about our children dying in the streets? What about the lack of education that we're receiving because no funding inside of our school system? There's a whole slew of things going on in my town surrounding these young folks and everything else, and nobody is addressing these things. But you want to come to the Black church, you want to come to the Black community and say, hey, well, for me, because we don't help get these illegals out, but Obama, and I know y'all hate to hear, but Obama got rid of more immigrants in his first year than Trump did the whole 4 he was up in there. But MAGA,
he should have, bro. What are you talking about? Shit.
All right, Mark, I'm gonna get to you. Let me go ahead and get to Ray, Original, Wani, and then I got you, Mark. I see. Okay, I see Black majority say up here too. I got you as well, Black. Go ahead, Ray. How you doing tonight?
What's going on, everybody? There's one thing about Sister Trouble, man. When she comes up here to eat, she doesn't leave one damn crumb. I mean, she took all the talking points out of the thing. But I love Sister Trouble. The only thing that I would really like to add is, again, I believe it's just a ploy because Trump says this stuff, but then when it comes to him building, all of the things that made him the rich man that he is today, he used illegal immigrants to do it. So I don't really believe him, just to be honest. I think he'll say anything to get the Black vote because he understands that we're frustrated. And this is a way for him to get the Black vote without him actually laying out anything tangible. And one other thing, too, I want y'all to really notice, I really feel like they're trying to co-opt Juneteenth. I know this is off topic, but I really want you to pay attention to the amount of RBG flags on top of the Juneteenth stuff.
All right. Thank you, Ray. Let me go ahead and get to matter of fact, Mark, you were next. I got you then Original. Go ahead, Mark.
Are you saying me?
Yeah, it's you.
Look, man. First off.
Oh, and try not to curse, Mark, but go ahead.
Okay. When I hear our people speak, they speak as if only white people own the Democratic Republican Party. Yeah, they own it in their community, but we must own it in our community. When I hear people talk about the Sanchez them are going to take, they ain't never taught no damn Black education, Black studies, Black anything in the school system. I'm saying all this to say this is on us. Stop talking about what the fuck they and what. Excuse me, man. We keep talking about what they gonna do and they ain't gonna do. What you gonna do? Just about us doing what we supposed to do. It's about us getting in position and running our own people to have seats at the tables with these budgets. I don't care about no racists. I'm a racist too. I don't care about no supremacists. The problem is we're not supremacists enough. Every group is practicing supremacy but us. We run around talking about some people of color, minority, and Black and brown. You don't hear nobody saying that ignorance but our people. And so this is about us getting in position. It's like we speak as if we want them to change for us. That's not their job. You should have stopped waiting on somebody the minute you became an adult and you had children. If your mom and dad ain't gonna do nothing for you, you grown now. It's about you doing it. It's about you getting in a position to force your agenda to the table. When you jump from this and that to the frying pan. No, hell, I'm not. I'm not telling you to go and vote for no Republican. I'm saying go vote for your candidates. And that's what y'all not doing. You ain't running nobody. You just running your mouth. You ain't running no candidates. Yvette Carnell and them, all that talking that they doing, they ain't running no candidates. They hoping the candidates that are there will do right by them. And then when they don't, they're upset, all upset. No, you're supposed to run your own people. They're not your people. I don't care if they do look like you. They're not your people. It's about you running your people so you'll have seats at the table to divvy up where the money is going. Politics ain't about no color skin, party. It's about money. You don't have a mindset to take your part of the money. You just hoping they give you some. No. The president told, who was that? He said, was it the Dr. King or A. Philip Randolph? Yeah, okay. Tell me all the problems of black folks. And when he finished, he told him, now make me do it. Now go make me do it. Y'all ain't in the business of making them do it because y'all hope they're going to do right by y'all. And they should do exactly what they're doing to you. And for you, nothing. Because you ain't willing to put in no work. You just want to talk. You don't want to get on the ground and do none of this stuff. That's why these kids, they smell that fear in you. They don't respect you. They know you got that fear in you. And you let them starve. They should rob you. They should carjack you. You let them starve. Man, let me be quiet, baby.
Alrighty. Let me go ahead and get to original. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, appreciate you. Yeah, my position is this. Yes, these two parties, they want our vote. Okay? But the issue is, like, okay, Donald Trump went to the black trip. Okay, nothing is going to come of that. And my position is this. Now, I just recently, just before I came on, I did a search for Donald Trump official his campaign website. The only thing that came up is something to donate money. I did the same thing with Jim Crow Joe. Same thing came up. Both parties know that we are pissed off. Now, just to vote for a person for president without just saying they're going to get rid of the illegal aliens, that's not enough for me. I want to see some tangible. I want to see whereby we can put together our own people and go and have a dialogue with these people. Let's not forget, back in 2020, Ice Cube had his contract with Black America. And crazy black folks got upset with him because he went and had a conversation with Donald Trump. Now, Donald Trump was in power, but Jim Crow Joe, and they did talk with him. But see, then they came out with this platinum plan, but it wasn't for black people because they had the word minority cited in it 3 times. They keep doing this and they keep flipping the script thinking that we're not watching, and Jim Crow Joe people wouldn't talk to him. They said, well, we'll talk to you after the election. No, it's too late by that time. And so the issue is it's like what Trump and Black Pressure was saying. These people are coming at us. They don't want to. They think they can get our vote without us getting tangible. Hell, Jim Crow Joe today, he just signed an executive order, whatever, trying to make it possible for these illegal aliens who are married to a legal person so they can stay here. Now I know good and well that they know that we are pissed off. But see, they're going to continue. My position right now, I'm not voting. I don't care who said what. Because at the beginning and end of each day, I control my vote. No one controls my vote but me. No entity, nothing controls my votes but me. And it's not going to anybody. Unless unless you're talking lineage-based reparation and an anti-black hate crime bill to give us some sort of a semblance of some kind of protection, I'm not voting for it. That's just it. Because we've been doing this thing basically doing the same thing for a long time and getting the same result. We got some people that look like they're black in each position, but they're not doing it. They're not doing anything for us. And so my only position is like I've been telling them, no, I don't owe you a vote. What are you doing? What are you doing for? And Newstoter, you saw where I've showed where I posted the current mayor of Atlanta, whereby he only had in his when he ran for mayor, he had a diversity and where he only advocated what he's going to do for the gay community. I'm like, hell, there's no way in the hell I vote for something like that. There's no way I do that. But that right there is killing black people as a whole. And so my position is that if they want my vote, they're gonna have to address the reparations issue. And I'm not talking about something that has the word minority, people of color. No ambiguous language can be included. Anybody can say whatever they want to, but when come November, I'm going to be sitting in my den, my feet, and I'm probably going to be watching, more than likely watching a movie or something. But I'm not paying attention to these elections. You had Kamala. She came to Atlanta today. She was with one of these. What's that little group of little boy was killed? Amigo. And I'm like, do you actually think this piece of crap has influence with me? Hell no. You may well take him and flush him down the toilet. He has no influence with me. Okay? The only thing they're going to influence me is reparation, lineage-based reparation. Because everybody with black skin is not entitled. And I think until we begin to put the screws to these people, they're going to begin to understand. Because my position is there's no difference between Jim Crow Joe and Donald Trump. Donald Trump said he was cheated out of the election here in Georgia. Georgia is just like trouble states. Georgia is a red state. The Republican told him that he lost. And so, in other words, if the election was stolen from him, I can only speak for Georgia. If the election was stolen from him in Georgia, he needs to produce factual documentation stating that. And if you don't have any factual documentation, because your perception management propaganda does not move me. Saying that the illegal alien gonna take a job does not move me. So you're gonna have to find something else. Do some kind of RTM results motivation to move me, because it ain't happening. And I'll land with that.
All right, appreciate that original. Let me go ahead and get to let me get the black majority state. I'm gonna get the Ely next too, because they're two new speakers, and I get back to Black Pressure and Mark. Professor, I saw you had your hand up too, so if you want to speak, put it back up, and I know you're a co-host, but we'll get back to you as well too. But how you doing tonight, Black Majority State?
No, let the people go, man. I just wait to the end.
Yeah, they kind of cooking up in here.
Yeah, they are. They cooking now, so I'm gonna sit back and just listen.
Okay, peace. Great space. Shout out to Black Pressure. Black Pressure got me up here. Because I just I'm not pushing back on what he said. Everybody has their interpretation, but Trump says illegals are taking jobs and harming the black community. That's kind of the obvious, Captain Obvious right there with that statement. But I wanted to talk about the process. So Texas. Shout out to folks in Texas. I got a lot of family down there. So if I was the governor of Texas, the first thing I would do is I would set up a blockade, sanctions, road inspections on semi-trailers. I would essentially create an environment where Texas corporations would not do business with Mexico, because a lot of the problems that Texas is facing is the fault of Mexico.
They don't have any border security on their side. They don't have any fencing. They don't have any type of prevention, and they're actually facilitating these illegal, violent criminals into the state of Texas. So that's what I would do if I was the governor. There's not a whole lot the federal government can do to stop that. They had a program called the Lone Star State. This is from Abbott. They detained 500,000 illegal immigrants, 42,900 criminal arrests, more than 37,900 felony charges, and the seizure of over 481 million lethal doses of fentanyl. This is what they were able to stop, just doing what they do as a state. So you can only imagine what's just pouring through the border if this is what these are Texas numbers. So that's what I would do. In terms of the process of a state being in conflict with the federal government, it goes to the courts. We live under a Judaism theocracy where these judges essentially determine law in this country. That's very unfortunate. It is baked into the Constitution, but here's where it kind of fluctuates, because you have a conservative court now. Decades ago, it was more balanced. There was a time before that where it might have been more liberal. So over time, this conflict between states and the federal government, and this is a part of the process, this is how the country is established and how it is designed, is that you're going to be able to get things through based on the makeup of the Supreme Court once you get your case up to that level. So I don't fault anything that Texas is doing. They're actually doing everything that they should do. And when that standoff was about to happen, where Biden was threatening to send troops in, 25 other states, I believe the number's 25, it could be more, said we support Texas, and if they do that, we're sending our people to defend Texas. This is how the country's supposed to operate. Now, having a black majority state, you have senators. You got 2 senators for each state. These Supreme Court justices are confirmed in the Senate. This is where the power comes in. And they have to give 51 votes in order to confirm a Supreme Court justice. So today, and for our entire history, we have had no power when it comes to who gets on the Supreme Court. But when you get multiple states, you got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 senators, now you got a blockade. And you can keep whoever you want off of the Supreme Court because you are going to be the deciding vote. And this is really why we have to think differently. When the federal government says this one state can't do something for whatever reason, and it goes through the process in the courts, and finally the Supreme Court makes a decision, it affects all 50 states. So it's not as if the federal government doesn't have power. It's really that the courts have the power because they are supposedly interpreting the Constitution, which sits above the states and the federal government. Again, that's not necessarily how it works because they lean one way or the other. They're biased based on their political allegiances. But if we get senators and they're loyal to our states as they should be, then they will be the check that we need on this really insane federal court power that unfortunately is in the Constitution. In my opinion, that shit needs to be rewritten. They need to be elected. They need to be termed limited. No way they should be lifetime appointees. And that's how you would ultimately fix that problem. Apologize for cursing. Thanks.
All right. Appreciate you, Black Majority State. Let me get to Ely, Dariad Ely. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
What up, bro? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You don't have on a headset, do you?
Yeah, I'm good. Can you hear me?
If you got the headset on, take the headset off.
No, it's good. You can hear me
You kind of sound like you far away. That's why I said if you got earbuds in, take them out. Are you still there? Yeah, I can hear you a little bit, but go ahead, bro. Yeah, I can't hardly hear you, bro. I can't hardly hear you.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear now.
All right. With that Tulsa thing, hearing that just passed and whatnot, plus the topic of reparations thing, you know what I'm saying? I think it's best that we just hold our vote. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not really in danger of white folks right now. You know, they are powerless physically to really attack us in masses. So we really don't have to really worry about them or the immigrants right now. We basically got our own economy in every city right now. If you really think about it, you know what I'm saying? We just gotta just support a little more and whatnot. I'll just say basically just turn the other cheek and just don't even pay attention to these people no more. Just deal with each other. Don't vote. They can't physically do nothing to us no more. You know what I'm saying? They're not who the history books say they are. You know what I'm saying? They're not this great powerful white race. They're a bunch of homosexuals. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be honest. And we got enough fuel to actually not like them no more. You know what I'm saying? I know you got your white friends. Some of these dudes on these apps got white girlfriends. You know what I'm saying? They might work with a white co-worker and all that weird shit. But
try not to curse, bro. But go ahead.
Right. That's hard for me, dog. But all in all, man, hold the vote, sit back. They got grants and loans. Get the loans, grants, start your business. You know what I'm saying? Work your job, take the money from your job, spend it with your own people, and repeat. You know what I'm saying? We got the blueprint right now of what we need to do for the next 20 years. You know what I'm saying? You either going to get together and create companies for your own children to work, or your children going to graduate school and go beg them for a job. So we got a 10-year window, you know what I'm saying, to let all our personal shit go and, man and woman up and set the youth up. I know a lot of us still want to live our dreams, still want to be somebody, still want to be this, but it's time to just sit back and set the next generation up. And pushing this reparations thing to the next generation is going to create a bunch of monsters for this white supremacy right now. So we got an opportunity to gear our children up and their children up for what's to come, which is basically going to be a fall of American economics. But we are in prime position right now to not even worry about these people no more. We're not Democrat, we're not Republican, we're not none of that. None of that matters to us. Let's focus on our own economy. They're going to have to give us reparations because they're going to see without our vote, you know what I'm saying, they can't do nothing anyway. Without our vote, they can't win any wars. Without us doing anything, they don't get entertainment, they don't get nothing. We are the economy for white folks. That's why they want to keep us as a permanent underclass, because we are their economy. We always have been. I'm going to say this one thing, I'm about to get off, but if you look at a job, get paid to work. You take that money, you pay light gas bills, water, food. That money gets circled. That's a currency. That's a currency. So we are the economy. The Asians, Arabs, the Germans, none of them spend money with each other, but we spend money with all other races. So we are their glue. It's time to let the glue dry up and let them starve. Let these immigrants starve. Let these white folks starve. Let everybody starve. You know what I'm saying? Off our endeavors, off our struggles, off everything. Just let them go. That's just basically the only thing you can do. Just stop being scared and punk. You know, just let it go. Just set generation, man. Just set these kids up, because they gonna have problems 50 years from now. You know what I'm saying? So that's about it.
All right, appreciate that, Ely. EHZ, yeah, we back tonight. Last night, the stream ended because we had a power outage over here in my neighborhood, so that killed the actual stream last night. So yes, we are back. Thank you for asking. Let me go ahead and get to and Mark and Black Pressure. I ain't forgot you. We just got 2 new speakers up. After these 2 new speakers, if anybody else come up, we're gonna get to you guys. But I want to go ahead and get to the new speakers. Let me get to Denmark, and then I'm gonna get to Rella, Denmark, go ahead and unmute your mic.
First, though, I think told her that she was up first.
Who was that?
So whoever coming up to speak, they better be good. You goddamn, you better be good, whoever you are.
What did you say, Professor?
Yeah, I think Rilla had her hand up first before Denmark.
No, Denmark actually came up before Rella.
Oh, did he? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't see him.
Yeah, he actually came up before Rella, and then she came up after him. But Denmark, if you're there, you got it.
Hey, thanks, Newstoter. I'm gonna be really quick. As a matter of fact, I just wanted to come up because someone mentioned earlier that there ain't much the government can do about these people coming across the border in Texas and all that stuff. I posted an article by PBS in the Purple Pill where the Mexican president said the reason he's not going after the cartel is because he has orders from the United States government to not go after the cartel. The United States government is funding and facilitating the cartel's efforts of what they're doing on the border. So I just want to dispel that myth that there's nothing our government can do. Our government is actively involved, working hand in hand with the cartel to smuggle people across the border along with other stuff.
And they're not hiding it. They're openly doing it.
You're right.
Yeah, and we knew that since the 80s. They were doing that.
Yes, sir. Let me appreciate that, Denmark. Thank you for coming up tonight. Let me go ahead and get to Miss Rella. Then I got Mark, and then I got you, Pressure.
Hey, Newstoter. Hey, Professor. Oh, DJ was up here.
He was, but he disconnected. I think he was having some connection issues. But what's up, Rella?
Hey, everybody. Mark, y'all got a lot going on down there in Chicago, don't you? Shout out to everybody in the space. Trump says the illegals are taking the jobs, harming black community. I'm with the original. All these people talk a lot of good game, and I've said this before. Even though we know that they've always been flooding, Mexicans and the cartel into the country. One thing Abbott didn't do is when those people started actually coming across the border and he was shipping them around the country, him and DeSantis did the same exact thing. And I said that they could have actually sent those people back. They didn't. They were too busy talking about they were trying to set the tone and make a statement to the Democratic Party. So they were going to ship them to, sanctuary cities and all this other BS. If you're going to protect Americans, protect Americans. Why is it that you want to make some sort of statement to the Democratic Party by shipping illegals around the country like chess pieces? That's more people that we still now have to deal with. They could have easily sent them people back across the border, but they weren't going to, because even though there is this Democratic, four wall to flood the country, there are Republicans who actually use illegal aliens and illegal people in their businesses because they don't want to pay people. But don't nobody want to talk about that. No one wants to blow that up. As a matter of fact, when Trump was at that church, he made a comment about when that pastor was like, the pastor somehow, how he gets his hair done by the Asian, shout out to the Asian community, and then turned around and was like, well, I really want to talk about black economics and how, do we keep, black dollars circulating in the black community? And Trump's response is, well, we're going to have to get rid of the crime. I was kind of like, wait, what does that mean? Get rid of the crime. You mean the illegal aliens? Are we talking about the crime against black Americans when it comes to getting permits, when it comes to getting approvals and making sure that you can get your business off the ground, getting capital? What crime was he talking about? We can never get a straight answer from neither one of these parties, and it gets old. This shit is, excuse my language, this stuff is old. It's old. If it is not on paper, it ain't written down. They can't spell it out to you without you having to jump through hoops to figure out what they're saying. They selling you like a used car salesman. They selling you a limit. And we don't have time for no limits. We need direct tangibles. We need to know what it is that they're going to do. It needs to be written out in detail, and it needs to be spelled out. Steve Harvey tried to make the comment that ain't nobody going to do nothing for a specific black people. Yes, they are, because they do stuff specifically for other groups. Matter of fact, white people, other groups of nationalities of white people get things done, and they just come up with different names. The Jews been doing it all day long. They changed their name through the OMB. Now they get resources, and they're able to build up. That's how AIPAC was built up. All these other little groups around the country was able to facilitate money under a different name into that organization. And they utilize black people to do it. So if somebody's talking about doing something economically for us, it needs to be in detail. It needs to be spelled out. And I don't believe in leaving a whole lot of work for our next generation of kids to break their backs to have to do something. I think that we have to have the fortitude and the willpower and the mindset to want to get all of the information that we need so that we can get into a position or get ourselves into a position to have authority in the states. That is what the Black majority was talking about. The powers of the states is in the governor, and then everybody else is on the local level. Stuff that happens to you.
Sound like you in the Matrix.
Is the representatives, that means your school members, those positions. So I don't believe in leaving that up to our kids to do that.
Rella, I think you might be in the Matrix, Rella.
In the Matrix.
Are you there, Rella? Yeah, I think Rella may have just entered the Matrix. Yeah,
I think she on them Dollar General Gold Funds. She put many thumbs on my text.
Hey, look, I've been trying to tell her to wait 30 to 45 minutes before she come up here and speak anyway. So anyway.
All right. Real quick before I get the Mark, real quick, for those that can't support us on Cash App, $Newstoter, $Newstoter. Newstoter is the largest Black-owned Black American news media curation platform today in America. Matter of fact, the topic and the article tonight comes straight off the Newstoter.com platform. Make sure you guys visit Newstoter.com to stay up to date on breaking Black news in America. So once again, for those that can support, even if it's $1, if you got $1 that you can donate to the platform, $Newstoter, $Newstoter. If you do not have Cash App, we have the Venmo and PayPal up in the Jumbotron, and we still looking to go ahead and get more Newstoter members on the actual platform as well too. That's up in the Jumbotron, but definitely support Black-owned business. We need that support, even if it's $1. We got over almost about 90 people up in the space. Let's see if we can get at least a couple people to donate at least $1 to the platform. Shout out to Brother Moku who just came through. So Brother Moku, thank you for your contribution. Let me go ahead and get to Mark. Mark, go ahead and unmute your mic.
So let me start by saying, just listening to, especially my generation, on these apps, man, our children are in trouble. And what makes it so is the fact that my generation, the X generation, don't want to learn the solution. They want to keep guessing and stuff. And that hard-headed, stiff-neckedness, y'all better pay attention to what happens to our people in California. All this y'all talking about sitting still, you don't have the luxury of sitting still. You sat still in California, and you see what happened to you. I'm talking about this is to those that were on the ground, whether you were in public housing, whether you were just working class, whether you consider yourself elites. Them Mexicans, when they got in power, got rid of black people. And hard-headed white folks, too. You better pay attention to what's happening. You ain't in no damn position to be making no demands. Let's just be honest about where we are right now. You ain't in no real position to be speaking the way you speak. And these immigrants, they love it that you got this mindset. Because once they get in power in those local positions, one, you will never get back to power. And then two, you will never get any resources. Look at Minnesota, what they're doing. You better look at what's happening already. Florida. Because you old and hard-headed, that ain't going to change nothing about your life. Because you talking stuff, that's not going to change nothing about your life. The only part about it is, I know it's going to hurt the children. But all y'all grown hard, I'm like, Lord, let y'all drown, man. You 50 and over, I'm 50 years old, so I'm speaking of my generation. You 50 and over, you don't get it, man, you need to drown. I just hope that your children got to drown with you. You're in a serious time right now. You think this is just talk. Again, you better pay attention to Compton and Watson and them places in Florida and New York and Minnesota where people were thinking just like you. That hard head, you can't tell you nothing because you grown. If you weren't only grown, you're going to be grown and gone. Keep thinking it's a joke. Man, you need to sit around some people that have been involved with this. You need to understand that these people are being brought here to replace you. Not just in the workplace, but also your homes, your communities. They brought here to replace you across the board. You better wake up.
All right. Thank you, Mark. Thank you. Let me go ahead and get to Black Pressure. Black Pressure, go ahead and unmute your mic.
All right, dude. I was going to be good, but I had to take my gloves off. So I'm going to say it like this. I myself am Generation X. I am at the later end of Generation X, 1979 baby. And I myself, I do not vote. I will not vote. And I dare nigga not to like it. And I'll tell anybody that I tell you in your face, don't vote. If you vote, I'm not on a hill. I'm not on a lecture circuit. If you vote, brother, knock yourself out. I won't have anything bad to say about you, right? I don't vote. It's useless. And I'll move there. And I just wanted to get that clear off the top. And I'm moving on to my real point. Our good brother, Mr. Mark Carter, right? I respect the brother. I've listened to him in different spaces. Very politically inclined. I'm going to say this to our good brother, Mr. Mark Carter. I get your frustration. I really do. But I want to tell you, let me serve you a glass of ice water if I can. I would not be so quick to wag your finger at the determination of Black people because let me remind you really quick. Black people have always, from day one, from the day they opened the dock on the first slave ship they pulled up, we've always stood up to white supremacy. You could look at the political and economic strides during Reconstruction. You have the Double V campaign during World War II. You got SNCC, the Black Panthers. You got the Black Liberation Army. You got PUSH, the Rainbow Coalition, the Nation of Islam, the Poor People's Campaign. Even in ideology, you had Black Lives Matter, only in ideology. I'm not talking about the group, but the idea of it. I don't think any Black person would reject that. And what did white supremacy do? How did they respond? They responded the way that they always have, with sabotage, menacing, intimidation, and murder. So you could start at the abuse of the military during the war on drugs with Nixon. You could start with the economic strangulation by Ronald Reagan. You could start, what can I move on to? You could go to the pursuit of our foreparents by death squads, known as the Ku Klux Klan, when Kennedy and Johnson just turned a blind eye to that. It's also called the 100-year American lynching of the Negro. All of that white supremacy controls all the institutions. When black people stood up to fight back white supremacy, like we have a 200-year track record of, we didn't have the institutions that white people control to fight with. We couldn't roll tanks through white people's neighborhood, but white people could do that to us. So I'm going to say it again. Be very, very, very careful before you wag your finger at your own people criticizing their determination. And I'll mute up and listen.
All right. Thank you.
Hey, if I can give a quick response. Hey,
come on. I'm right here. Come on down.
Let me say
come on down.
Let me say this. Be careful that you don't become the old fool your parents became. Okay? Hear me, bro. Hear me. Because one thing that my 1973 ass did was listen to my grandparents. That's why you hear me move the way that I move. My grandparents, right? My daddy died at 68 years old because he didn't listen to his parents. They told him and his brothers that y'all gonna be dead before y'all get old with all that drinking and this smoking and drinking and getting high off that stuff. Y'all think that we'll be paying attention? Y'all ass gonna die. This is what my grandparents were saying to my daddy and my uncles and aunties when we were children, right? So we listened to our grandparents. That don't mean we didn't love our parents. We just listened to our grandparents. Because back then and now, they were our example of what works. Not buying into this, it's going to be all right. I'm just going to just sit back. And I'm just going to let it is what it is. I ain't going to rock the boat. Okay. Keep thinking you in that position. Now, I just hate that the children have got to go through this with these damn fools. That's the only part about it that I hate. Right?
The children have been going through it since slave ships full up. What does that mean? What does that mean?
And I'm saying to you, as a matter of fact, no, I'm not saying that to you because our people didn't go through this until after the 60s movement. We had a different type of mindset prior to the 60s movement.
So black people were in a utopia before the 60s. We lived in paradise.
Sir, black people own more businesses and have more wealth just 30, 40, 50 years outside of slavery than any other time. Are you aware?
And that one little blip about when we hung from our necks for 100 years. What did holding remedies at?
I said to you, black people own more wealth. See, I don't talk about no white folks hanging because I hang for white folks. That's the difference in my mindset and yours. I kill them like they kill me.
I mean,
I'm not gonna sit around and find something. Just listen. I'm not gonna find something. I'm not gonna find something to be sitting around scared about no white supremacy. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna deal with it because I was born to do that as a man. Now, if you notice, I didn't make mention of no white supremacy because I don't think that's supreme about no white motherfucker. Period.
Language.
I hear you, bro.
We having these conversations.
We having these conversations. Just listen, bro. I didn't mention nothing about no white supremacy.
I did.
So I'm saying to you, because them white folks that you think are in power, they ain't in power no more. No, they not in power no more.
Let me check what planet I'm on. I got to be on another planet.
Can I finish what I'm saying?
I'm listening, bro. You can talk over me.
You talking. You can't be listening. You talking.
Okay, I'm
saying to you, and I'm gonna put it in perspective, but maybe you understand it this way. Those that would consider the Mayflower whites, they ain't in power no more. But they're not running this stuff no more.
Well, don't go out.
When they made the mistake, and brought all them different immigrants from Ireland and Italy and all over the world.
All Caucasian.
Man, could you be quiet, man?
All Caucasian, like I said.
So when they made the mistake, just like when black folks made the mistake in California, with loving and caring about the Mexicans, both sides got overthrew. They got overthrew, okay? And y'all don't get it because you so fixated on quote-unquote white supremacy that you don't see that them Africans, them Indians, them Asians, them Jews, they all together. They all work together, and the black elite is working with them to topple the rest of us. Okay? That's the part that you're not seeing. And until you understand that, you're going to keep being lost in that old rhetoric from the 50s.
Bro, I was born black in America. I don't need an education. I don't need an education on suffering. I was born black in America.
You definitely need education.
You arguing about the ethnicity of white people. That's what you're arguing about.
Hey, man. If they all the same people, then...
I know it.
Let me ask you a question. Since you want to talk, I'm going to ask you a question. Who was they fighting January 6th? They still wasn't fighting no black folks. Who was they fighting if they all the same people?
You talking about at the White House?
Who was they fighting January 6th if they all the same people?
No, you talking about at the White House? You talking about the White House? You talking about January 6th at the White House? That was white supremacy. It's not hard, man. It's not.
All right, real quick, guys. Let me go ahead because we got some other speakers. So we'll come back to you guys. Just raise your hand up. Let me give a shout out to Miss Trigger as well, too, for her contribution on Cash App. Let me go ahead and get the no taxation. And I'm going to go ahead and get, I got you, Black Majority State. I got the new speaker up here as well, too. So we'll get to you as well. But no taxation. You had your hand up. Do you still want to speak?
I was going to talk politics, but I think I'm going to lay back for a minute because it may not go over based on the conversation everybody is having now. So maybe
Rick James.
Okay.
Say what you say, DJ?
Sister knows that. Now, you know you don't.
Rick James, think about it.
Come on, Sister knows that. Come on, Sister knows that. Right here.
Well,
so let's talk
that funky stuff.
Hold on. Let her go ahead because she sounds like she's trying to speak.
Okay, so let's talk politics then. Let's just talk straight politics, right? Just straight politics. And the thing about it is it's not personal. Politics is never personal, ever, unless you have an axe to grind. So let's look at the Democratic side first and where we are. Black folks in general, black folks specifically about reparations. When I say black folks, y'all know who I mean. I haven't seen anything in writing. I'm only seeing because I actually looked. It was either today or yesterday. I said, well, let me go see what they saying over here, what the Biden administration is saying. And I haven't seen anything in writing. It don't count unless it's in writing, right? So no matter what they say, don't pay attention to that. It's what they write now. It's what's on their website now. Because that's how politics is done. But anyway, nevertheless, needless to say, I didn't see anything. What I did see was a lot of stuff that he said he was going to do in 2020 and what he was going to roll out in 2020 and blah, 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 blah. I did bookmark a couple of articles that did a sort of a grading on what he did do, what he accomplished, and what he didn't accomplish. And I'm going to go back and read that. But I will say this, as far as just like what Biden said he was going to do for black folks, I haven't heard a peep. That's just me. Maybe somebody else has heard something. Not what he's done, what he's going to do. Okay? That's the only thing I'm interested in. And where is it in writing? Okay, let's look at the Republican side. So, because the Trump administration did something about the federal prisons, I think we could get something there. I think that is written somewhere. I think that, First Act 1 and 2 or something like that. So that's on the table. Of course, immigration is on the table. That's another thing. The Democratic administration, current Democratic administration, I haven't heard anything about, yes, the states can deport. I am noticing that, and this is, we're not talking about the move Biden just made to shore up. And when I say Biden, I'm actually putting that in air quotes because honestly, truthfully, they're fighting right now to say that he's well. Anytime you have to fight to say that a president is well, means he's unwell. Okay? So that's just the way the game goes. So, you know, we don't know if he did it, Obama did it, his wife did it, somebody did it, you know, Mayorkas, somebody did it, but they're trying to shore it up now. They're a day late and a dollar short on that. They're not talking about a deportation for the states because that's what needs to be handled. The states need to be able to deport on their own. So now let's put that up against the Republican side. We know what it is. Trump is going to get him out of here, period. Okay, because he don't want all of them over here anyway. He was very specific about the people that he did want over here because when he was in the Oval Office, he allowed Eastern Europeans to come to Miami specifically, and Florida generally, to have their children so that they could be, they could have an anchor baby. And they did. He opened it up for that, and they did. So those are the kind of people that he wants over here. So he's going to deport these people, especially the ones that are committing crimes, and that's where the problem is. We have too many newcomers.
Liabilities, not assets, right?
Yeah, we have too many now. And whose fault is that? The fault has to lie in the Biden administration. No matter what they tell you, this administration is still in charge. And so that's that part. And so what does that mean for reparations? Well, they said today that so many trillions, and I think I sent the article, maybe you can speak to it, because I know I sent it to you, because you and I speak a certain language in politics. The trillions that they added to the national debt. And so, the conversation Black and I were having is what we have to look out now for on both sides of the aisle is to say, well, the national debt is so high, we could never pay for reparations now. Don't be surprised when they say that. You're going to have to remind them that the United States of America is a sovereign country and prints its own money. All they need to do is tell them how much to print at the Department of Printing. It ain't closed, it's still open. And so I think that's going to be a trap coming. I noticed in May of 2024, an article came out. I tried to do this is today, I looked at it. Article came out in May. I tried to do a deep dive on it and couldn't find anybody else that picked it up. But the stats are there. So whoever wrote this article, and I haven't really, looked to see who the writer was telling the truth at the time. The Biden administration is concerned about the Black vote. And that's why he made the move that he made today with those DACA people. What he did with that DACA has a lot of stipulations on it. But that's that DACA thing that he did, that was supposed to happen under Obama, and Obama didn't do it. Okay? And so they've been promising that stuff for a long period of time. That has nothing to do with these new people in here. And so we have to separate it. And the reason we separate it is because they separate it. And they're separating the issues. So we can't lump it all together because that's going to go against it.
Ain't no taxation. See, people paying attention to the new group that came in. It was 20 million up here already before all of this new talk started happening. Oh, man. People talk, Obama got rid of more. He let them in. What do you mean? You know what I'm saying? They don't understand that. Huh?
Yeah, he flew the criminals out. If they committed a crime, he hurry up and got them out. But he let the rest of them stay. And he made a lot of promises that he did not keep to those people. And that's why Biden acted on it, because everybody knows that Biden is in trouble. It came out in May. The percentage, 21 Black vote that he gets, that he had, they have done polls and watched it. He will no longer get that. If it gets to 25, he's in deep trouble. I wouldn't be surprised, and this is just me talking. Now, everything else was it wasn't just media, but it's, my knowledge and information. Now, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if something didn't happen before November, and Kamala has to step up. I wouldn't be.
No, that's the move. That's not the move that they're gonna make. Look, the DNC is here in Chicago because because they plan to take J.B. Pritzker, Galvin Newsom, and a few other ones that they're looking at, and move both of them out of the way.
Yeah, I knew they was going to try to do something.
This shit is happening. Excuse me. The stuff is happening here in Chicago. And those of us that are in politics, we see clearly what's going on. We see clearly that they're making the move. Look, watch y'all gonna see Obama and on that whole crew of them. Watch them force Joe Biden out. Right after that debate, you let him don't prove strong, and they're gonna pull a coup. They're gonna pull a coup on him.
Well,
they're gonna pull a coup so ugly on him.
Well, how they gonna pull a coup on the president?
What? Do you think the president is in power for real?
I know what you're talking about. He ain't talking about no coup like anybody can see.
No, I mean, I'm saying with this close election time and the risk, it's already going to be a close election, a razor thin election. Do they really have the time to go ahead and switch Joe Biden out at this time?
Let me ask you a question.
They can blame anything on him.
Exactly. That's exactly where I was getting ready to go. That's exactly where I was getting ready to go. And so they can't risk him dying and her getting the power. So they'll pull a coup to get rid of him. That way they get rid of her as well. This is what you better look, man. You got some of the dirtiest people in politics here in Chicago. Y'all think Washington, D.C. and all them other places, this is the epicenter of the snakeism that goes on, especially in America and in this Democrat Party. This is the epicenter.
Let me finish my point, because we're going to bring it down to reparations now, right? Because I said I was going to break it all the way down from the top to the bottom. Here go the bottom. Reparations in Chicago is in play because that mayor announced. For whatever reason he announced, what it is, we don't know. Whether it's going to work, probably not. But that's not the point. Hear me. It's not the point. Okay? California is set in stone. Their stuff in writing is set in stone. They know where they stand. Chicago is coming close because the people in Evanston, that kind of stuff, they've been fighting, and Chicago is fighting, and that mayor had to say the word. Just the word was important. They have to say it first. And New York said they got their little committee together. So you're talking about California all the way on the west, Chicago in the middle of the country, and New York on the eastern side. We in play, but we got to play our cards right. We got to play our cards right. And I'm going to leave it there.
All right. Thank you.
What type of cards, my bad, what type of cards is you talking about? Because
who's that speaking? Wait. I don't know who was that speaking. Whoever's speaking, raise your hand real quick, because we got other speakers that's trying to go as well too. So whoever's speaking, just raise your hand. We'll get to you. I'm not sure who that was. Okay, Tupac, I see you. Okay, I got you, Tupac. Let me go ahead and get to let me give a shout out first to Coach TP for his contribution on Cash App, and then let me go ahead and get to I believe the name is Jahir, and then I'll get to you, Tupac, as well too, since you're a new speaker. But is it Jahir? I'm not sure.
Good evening. This is Gear.
Gear?
Gear. Yes. Hi. Good evening.
How you doing?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Pretty good. Thank you so much. So I'm an African American, or whatever the category might be. I live in Northern Virginia, beautiful state, the Commonwealth of Virginia. So I'm sure what I'm about to talk to some people might not like, and looks like in today's space activities on Twitter, people want to hear what they want to hear, but they did not like what they even new ideas. What they did not want to hear. So let me say this to start with. In the United States, there is no democracy, which is the rule of the majority. There is plutocracy, which is government by the wealthy. I start with that. I'll go to the title. Trump says illegals, #illegals, are taking jobs first. This is not true. This is actually hate mongering and war mongering stuff. That's not true. Number one, I will prove that. Number two, harming the black community. Harming the black community. That's also false. Here is the truth. Okay. As of
June 2024, the U.S. labor shortage was 70%, which is 5% percentage points below the global average. This means that 70% of employers are unable to find suitable employees for their job vacancies. There are other factors. I do not want to go through this one, but that's the number one stuff. Now, the second statement, okay? When there are job shortages, that means employers need outsiders to fill the jobs that are in need to be filled. Harming the black community. Why the black community? Why is he talking about?
Well, he also said that they're harming the Hispanic community as well too. But go ahead.
No, so either change the title.
No, I don't. Wait, hold on. I don't need to change anything because he was at a black church and he was talking to black people. He mentioned black people harming the black community. He also said Hispanic community as well too. But he was addressing black people, so I don't need to change anything. But go ahead.
Okay, sure. But also, as far as the church, I was told it was staged. Either other African Americans was trying to make excuses. I heard yesterday from a space that it was staged. It was not a black church or whatever. But whatever it might be, it's not harming any American. It's not harming. There is no data to support that this person, candidate, criminal, con artist, felon, convicted felon, is trying to pit people against each other. That's it, basically, and trying to.
Excuse me, sir. America did that 200 years ago.
I understand. So you don't have to. Can I finish? Make my points. That's why you have itching ears. You do not want to hear. You just want to hear what you want to hear. Okay.
Everybody, let this guy speak.
Okay,
so Get Here can get up out of here. So let him speak.
Please get him the hell up out of here because he's not even worthy of.
Thank you. Yeah, that's really right,
Mark. Let him go ahead and finish real quick. Let him finish.
So you guys are undemocratic. The people who are saying that are undemocratic. You see, if you want to hear what, you will not grow. You will not develop even as a person. I know I will make you uncomfortable because even my accent bothers you, right? Get over it. This is a new America.
Okay. All right, everybody calm down for a second. Okay, Gear, are you done speaking right now? Because we've done spaces before and we had the actual document that actually showed that when it comes to illegal immigrants, illegal immigration harms black American males more than anybody else, the unskilled labor market. So to sit here and say that it doesn't, that it's not taking some jobs away would be a complete lie because it actually is.
Okay, I'm not. Okay, let me clarify again. I was talking about general immigration. I am for illegal immigration, not illegal immigration. I do not, approve of illegal immigration at all. Breaking the law. I do not.
He's saying deport all of y'all.
Can you shut the fuck up, man? You've been talking so much shit. Shut your mouth.
Okay, Gear, I want you to go ahead and land your plane.
What's up with these niggas in lecture?
Like I told, hold on, everybody. And I don't know why this thing keeps unmuting itself. But like I told everybody else in here, don't curse. Go ahead, Gear, land your plane. We're going to go ahead and get to some new speakers. But go ahead. It might be a double mute.
Once again, immigrants contribute $7 trillion.
You say once again, immigrants do what now?
I was muted. Immigrants. I'm not, again, it's not about illegal or not. Okay? Immigrants contribute to the U.S. economy, okay, about, $7 trillion in the next decade. They are expected to contribute according to CBO.
Go contribute it in your own damn country.
You know what? Then again, those that don't understand how dangerous these people are, they do need to hear him. They need to hear him because these don't love everybody type people that make way for people like him.
Do you see? The black folks who claim to complain about discrimination, they themselves, talk badly about other for example.
Okay, everybody stay on your microphone. Okay, we're going to go ahead and let him finish. He's going to wrap it up, and then we're going to go to the next speaker. Everybody stop coming off your microphone. Y'all know how we do it in here. Go ahead. Gear, you still up here? I'm gonna give you 30 seconds to go ahead and land your plane.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much again. The other person who was talking about black owned enterprise or whatever. African Americans are more engaged in consumerism than owning businesses. Okay. Compared to other demographics, black-owned business are 19 to 43 percentage points more likely to make under $100,000 when the COVID.
So, are you trying to say that your group has had a more of an impactful impact in this country than Black Americans? Are you trying to tell us that?
There are more American black consumers than black-owned business, even compared to other. Are you trying?
Where are you from? Where are you from? Where are you from? Where are you from, Gare?
I'm from Northern Virginia.
No. What? You're not from Northern Virginia. I'm saying, where do you originally come from?
Originally, I came from East Africa.
Okay, so are you trying to say that East Africa? All right, everybody. Let me speak to this gentleman here. Are you trying to tell me that East Africans have had a greater impact financially, socially, anything else than Black Americans? Are you trying to tell me that?
No, sir. So that's not the point. That's not the point. So you see, those who claim to be African American, or even they deny themselves of being from Africa, even if they have the black skin stuff.
Okay, now I mean, hold on, wait a minute, wait, hold a damn minute there. Hold on, wait a minute. Now you're sitting up here. Now you going from one extreme to another. You're talking about people denying being from Africa and this and that or whatever. Let's be for real. Where you from in East Africa? A lot of y'all consider yourselves to be Arab and everything else, white and everything else. So don't come up here lecturing us about our lineage and stuff like that.
The hypocrisy that you're playing right now.
No, the hypocrisy that you playing. I don't care. I don't give a damn what you are. Okay, I don't give a damn what you are. We Black Americans. Okay.
This space, you might own it. You might think you might own it. This is global public space.
Okay. Let me drop this dude down because I don't want to hear this no more. Let me go ahead and get to.
Now, all that talking about sit back. Imagine his mindset like the Mexicans in California in power. This is all y'all talking about. You're gonna sit back and you think you got something. What you ain't dealt with nothing until you deal with these immigrants that are getting in power. And in Virginia, where he's from, that Jamaican that's the lieutenant governor. The first thing she said when she got in power was what? Get somebody to tell her what she said. Anybody in the room know what she said?
No, she said something about Black history or something, didn't she? Oh no, she said something about slavery, getting over slavery or something like that.
Slavery and reparations and any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
This is the type of mindset that you sit back allowing to get in power and permeate throughout this country. And I'm talking about the Black Americans. Because I really, at first, it was like, okay, let's battle with this dude. No. Y'all need to hear the mindset of these people. Because in the end, our people are the ones that have lost their mind. These people are coming here with a takeover spirit. They're not coming here to coexist with you. They don't care nothing about you. They come here and check the white box.
Real quick, Mark, before you go in, let me get to the new speakers real quick, and I'm gonna come back to you. Let me get to Tupac. He was waiting. Tupac, are you still up here? You want to speak? The speaker, Tupac, you want to speak? Tupac, are you up?
Going twice, man. Going once, going twice.
Yeah, my bad, bro. I'm in here. Fuck you. Give me like 5 minutes, my G.
All right, we'll come back to you. Let me go ahead and get to Jess Cakes. Jess Cakes, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, I agree 100% with what Mark said. The thing about these immigrants, illegal and not so illegal, is the fact that they come over here, they practice anti-Black racism, and then when it comes to bringing a case against them, whether it be on your workplace or anything else, the burden of proof is that much harder when it's against the immigrant, illegal or otherwise. This guy got the same sentiment as the people in Minnesota. And Minnesota is the damn East Africans with they musty selves, okay? down south and stuff like that, and all over, you got the Hispanics. You got the Jamaicans, you got the Africans. All of them, like you said, they coming over here with a takeover mass state. With a mass state. Well, we kumbaya and everything else. We late to the party. Africans been tribal for forever. So it's just like this ain't the time to play. It's time to poop or get off the pot. Pretty much. And I landed there because I don't want to monopolize too much.
Hey, little sister, y'all as young people save yourselves. Y'all parents have lost their mind. You got to take care of them anyway later on anyway. So y'all stand up. Stand up. Because 10, 15, 20 years from now, your crazy parents, is my generation, you got to take care of them anyway because they ain't got no sense.
All right. Mark, let me go ahead. Let me get to Marcel. Let me get to Marcel real quick and Twizzler, and then we'll get back to the speakers. Black majority state. We'll get to pressure. We'll get to you as well. Marcel, how you doing tonight? Go ahead and unmute your mic.
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. What's going on with you tonight?
I really wanted to respond to that immigrant that was up there. First of all, I get really sick and tired of people talking about how much they contribute to the economy. There are studies talking about how much they contribute to the economy, but there are also studies talking about how much they take from the economy. And there are a few studies that talk about how much money they use and from which they benefit while here from this economy that was built by us. They use our roads, they use our postal services, they use our medical services, they use our educational services, they use our judicial services, they use our food services. I can go on and on and on. Our police services, they benefit from the economy every single day. So whatever they give back, I promise you, is far, far, far less than what they use. Number two, I don't know why some of us are pushing back against this. They do take jobs from our people. When I was growing up, carpentry, painting, roofing, construction, landscaping, those were jobs that were largely done by black men in my area and white men who did not have a 4-year college university education, which are the majority. Those were the main people doing it. Now you have to go out your way and hunt to try to find a black American man or even a white American man who are on these construction sites. They do take our jobs because what they do is they bring a bunch of other illegals with them who pretty much do the work for free while the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are getting paid. It's modern day slavery. Right here where I am, I'm in coastal South Carolina, but right over in coastal Georgia, not far from me, in Bloomingdale, Georgia, which is right outside Savannah, Georgia. It was called Operation Blooming Onion. I'm surprised a lot of people aren't talking about it. Maybe y'all don't even know it happened. It was the largest human trafficking bust in American history. It just happened 2 years ago. There was a bunch of Hispanics, I believe mainly Mexicans and Central Americans, that were living in squalor and were being subjected to modern day slavery. They were working on construction sites. They was working in food services for free. And the only people getting paid were the ones that smuggled them over here. If we think that doesn't happen on these construction sites, these areas where they need carpenters, roofers, painters, and then much more, then we are a fool. And also they're bringing over here anti-black American or anti-freedman sentiment. Okay? They're bringing that over here with them deeply. But the thing that we are letting go unpunished is that we have elected officials who are literally writing them a blank check. I heard about what happened in Chicago. They're giving them $500,000 to study reparations. They've given these illegals billions, no study necessary. The excuse they're going to use is that they're doing this for black people. Reparations don't go to black people. They're supposed to go to those who are of the status of freedmen. And don't think these elected officials don't know that. They know that. But they're going to try to say, oh, black people, so it can get struck down when the Supreme Court brings it up for review. They're doing it on purpose. And when it gets struck down, they're going to try to get us to believe that reparations cannot be done. And yes, it can be done, but they're doing it the wrong way so they can sabotage it from the goddamn jump. Next thing I want to say, I hate when these little damn foreign tethers talk about how many businesses we owe. Let's talk about how many businesses we own. How many businesses we own that were burnt down to the ground. That they ran highways through our neighborhoods, railroads through our neighborhoods, that they did eminent domain, businesses which they cut the water off, that they set on fire, businesses
which they put ordinances saying we couldn't play music, sell alcohol, or serve food. But we had restaurants, but therefore the businesses died a quick, painful death. Let's talk about how many businesses we used to own that this nation destroyed, and how many more we would have owned if we were included in the wealth building programs in which we should have been included. Let's talk about how our struggle is always used for the benefit of these damn illegals who come here with this anti-freedman sentiment. And like Mark, I'm glad you said it. I'm not voting for no damn couch. I made that clear in my speech at the Ride for Reparations. I'm voting for any candidate, unless this candidate is literally saying that they want to bring back chattel slavery or they want to bring back Jim Crow. I don't mind voluntary separation. I want to be voluntarily separated. That damn right I do. I want us to have our own flourishing freedmen neighborhoods. They got flourishing white American neighborhoods, so we can have flourishing black American neighborhoods. I have no problem saying that. But I do not want the government telling us what we can and cannot go in a country we built. Unless a candidate is unadulteratedly anti-freedmen, I'm voting for any candidate who has shown a record of being consistently against mass immigration. I'm going to stop this mass immigration invasion. That's illegal immigration, but that's also legal immigration. So I'm definitely going to be supporting candidates who have that stance. So these other ones, I'm talking about they voting for the couch all they want. That's what these illegals want. They want us voting for the couch so they can be comfortable on their couch in a house that we're not going to be able to afford because all the jobs and all the benefits are going to them. Goddamn, that's me.
All right. Appreciate that, Marcel. Tupac, are you ready now? Are you ready?
MarcelForCongress.com too, y'all. MarcelForCongress.com. Make sure y'all come up there, support, and donate. MarcelForCongress.com.
Yeah, I'm ready, black man.
All right, go ahead, Tupac.
It's just funny, right? All these black folks, man, like, bro, the Jews control all the fucking politicians, bro. They the one.
Okay, don't come on here. Don't come cursing on here, bro. And let's let's go ahead, everybody. Let's watch our language and let's stick to the topic as well, too. But go ahead, Tupac.
I'm sticking to the topic. Donald Trump, Joe Biden don't have no power over the immigrants. This shit been planned over 100 years ago.
Hey, I just said, don't curse, bro.
My bad, G. I'm just real passionate. My cousin is more.
What? Yeah, let's check. Let the we don't mind the passion. Let's just try to keep the cursing now. But go ahead.
Like I said, my bad. If my cousin is more offensive than these white devils treating us, then we got more problems than that. Though. I'm just saying, bro. Like the immigration and all that been planned over 100 years ago. It's called labor arbitrage. They send all the jobs overseas, then they tell the stupid people that the Mexicans is taking all the jobs. And then they get money. If they make money, they pocket that. If they take a loss, we pay for that, the American people. It's not our money, it's the Jews' money. That's who print the federal, that's who own the Federal Reserve and the IRS since 1913. It's all illegal. Don't matter what black person you vote for, what white man in power, they are all controlled by Jewish bankers. That's who print the money. That's who own all the politicians. They just passed the bill, the anti-Semitism bill. You can't say that Jesus was killed by Jews. You can't say a lot of stuff. They banked a lot of scriptures out the Bible. The white traitors in Congress, they're selling out white America and the blacks too. I'm just trying to figure it out. Our ancestors wasn't asking for none of this shit. They was doing it their own. I wish I can play the audio of Malcolm X talking about how black folks, how we spent last year we spent $1.3 trillion in this country and we still begging. You know what I'm saying? The Asians don't be voting, the Arabs don't vote, the Indians don't vote, the Indians with the dot, they don't vote because they put their money and resources together and build infrastructure for their own people. That's how we used to have it. You know what I'm saying? Black America became Americanized with these white folks, and we picking up their sicknesses and shit, and they dumb.
Hey, bro, can you hear what I'm saying about the cursing? All right, thank you, Tupac. Let me go ahead and get to Twizzler. And listen, I don't want to have to keep saying it. We got grown people in here. I know we can actually speak intelligently without every word coming out as a curse word. So let's go ahead. Hold on. Let's go ahead and get up here and talk let's get up here.
He promoted a new album. That's why he cussed.
Well, I don't care what he promoting. We need to go ahead and just speak, man. Let's just go ahead and talk.
My bad, I wasn't even finished, but I'm gonna land my plane, right? Me and my homeboys in 2015, we put up about $40,000. We bought about 30 acres in the Midwest, and we growing hemp for batteries. We on some self-reliant, self-governance, just doing everything ourselves, man.
All right, we appreciate
energy technology.
We appreciate that, Tupac. I say, yeah, we appreciate that. We let us go ahead because we're trying to stay on topic as much as possible. So let us go ahead and get to the next speaker, Twizzle.
It is on topic, bro, because you're talking about jobs, and I'm talking about we can create our own jobs by leaving this system become self-reliant.
We're not doing anything new. Black Americans, we've been doing that for centuries, and we're doing it now. I'm glad about what you're doing, but please don't come in here and imply that we already don't do grouping.
I ain't saying none of that. You gotta get off your feelings, Black man. I don't even know.
I get really sick and tired of us implying that Black Americans are somehow not doing for us. We've been the only ones who have done for us. So anything we've got, it's been because of us.
I'm not applying none of that, Black man. I'm talking about niggas is talking about illegal. So they
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. We talking about the illegals. We talking about the Black community. We talking about Trump. We're gonna go ahead and keep it on that. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next speaker. Thank you, Tupac. Let me go ahead and get the Twizzle. Also, real quick, Twizzle, we got some other speakers trying to come up. So if you've already spoke and you're not going to speak right now, guys, drop down or whatever so we can go ahead and bring some other speakers up as well. But go ahead, Twizzle.
Yeah, shout out to the room and the family in here. I pretty much Marcel pretty much, capped on everything that I was talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because basically it's the topic of the room and how the gentleman from East Africa came in here trying to tell us that immigrants contribute so much to the economy, but they don't ever talk about on how much money they send up out of the economy. They always talk about they do this, they do that, but I wish somebody would really do a study on how much money is sent to Mexico, East Africa, Nigeria, and everywhere else, because they're making enough money, but yet they're not contributing it to the American economy. And I heard some of them don't even have to pay taxes. Another thing, they said we don't have business. Didn't the Black people who are over 100 years old are still fighting for reparations for the Black community, the businesses that was stolen from them, that was burnt down? They always try to tell us what we don't have, and I know this for sure. The majority of businesses that they have in America or was owned by a Black person before, and if not, they're doing business, and the majority of their customers are Black Americans. And they just had the audacity to try to tell us stuff. So I just pretty much want to say that Marcel, basically, me and him on the same page. He said everything that I was talking about. So hey, I'm in and I'm out, man. I'm gonna make some room for speakers, y'all. So shout out to the room. Everybody have a good day. Shout out to Marcel, to his campaign. Shout out to Mark Carter. Peace to the family.
All right. Thank you, Twizzle, for coming up here. Let me go ahead and get to Miss Avery. Miss Avery, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey there. Salute to the chat. I just wanted to let you know that there's easy something is controlling to
Stephanie, you're in the Matrix.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to let you know, salute to everybody in here. That guy is a troll. He used to troll Tariq Nasheed all the time. Okay, he used to make spaces about Black Americans all the time. He goes to, I think his other name used to be Dr. Cabas. So yeah, he trolls the space.
Oh, Dr. Cabas. Okay. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ms. Avery. I had to by mistake.
He's a big time troll. He that's what he does. He troll. They never.
You're in the Matrix. You're in the Matrix, Stephanie. You're in the Matrix.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to say that he's a professional troll. He can just go space trolling Black American spaces. That's Dr. Cabas, or he does that to Tariq Nasheed all the time.
Yeah, that's Dr. Cabbage. He do troll. He's an African, East Somalian or whatever. Yeah, Dr. Cabbage.
But he never talks about what's going on in his country, because now the Jews is in his country now. So how he gonna fix that issue? He's so busy concerning himself with us, but he's not talking about the issues in his country. But
That's all I got.
Country is deodorant.
All right. Let me go ahead and get to Thank you, Stephanie. Let me get the I'm gonna get the Black Majority State, Black Pressure, Mark, Agush, I am. Go Black Majority State, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna go back and whoever this foreign guy is, like he said something that sometimes you gotta kind of pause and listen to what they're saying, because he said this is the future. This is the future that you have to look forward to. And here's the reality. First and second generations right now are about 28%. That doesn't include illegal immigrants. That probably pushes it over 30. Their projections are that they're going to hit nearly 40% of the population, first and second generations, in about 20 years. So within another generation or so, they will be just under half of the population. That's first and second generation. If you add in the third generation, you probably will get over 50%. So that is the reality that we are facing. So I wanted to touch on that. Ms. Rella was in space earlier. She asked about Trump in Michigan and him talking about reducing the crime. And so when I hear that from a person of his ilk, immediately I think about his perspective is white-owned businesses would not want to invest in these crime-ridden areas. So he does, that's his default setting. He doesn't think about investing into the black citizens, black American descendants who live in those areas who would open and operate businesses within the communities that they're comfortable with. He thinks you got to get rid of the crime. So I did a DuckDuckGo search, Detroit investment millions, and I limited to just the past month. I'm gonna read off some of these investments that are going into the Detroit area as we speak. Officials told groundbreaking of $335 million research center in Detroit. How billionaires bought 70% of Detroit's offices and transformed the city. Now there's $1 million condos in Detroit. Ford's new Michigan Central Station is a $1 billion bet on Detroit. Legislation could bring $1 billion in transit funding to Metro Detroit. DTE Energy Company details a $7 billion investment in Detroit. That's a Detroit-based business. And it goes on and on and on and on and on and on. And so there is money pouring into Detroit. Like literally, these are all within the last week. So the assumption that you have to get rid of the crime in order to invest in Detroit is very disrespectful, extremely derogatory. It's delusional, but it's a perspective that these people present because they don't imagine black people owning those businesses. They simply want to see us as employees and not much more. Someone else earlier in space said, we got to do this, we got to do that because 50 years, something about 50 years. We don't have 50 years. The last immigration wave lasted for about 100 years that brought in 40, 50 million. It was condensed in Ellis Island of 30 plus million. There was a different breed of black American. There was a different level of connection to enslavement, Civil War, deconstruction, hyper intelligent black American people, extremely vigilant, dedicated, with every ounce of their breath and their life. And we do not have that same level of commitment today. So we will be inundated literally in this immigration demographic displacement, replacement, erasement, if the few of us who are truly willing, ready, and able to make something very, very real happen, if we do not do that simple thing, 50 years from now, we will be lucky to be here. I'm not saying that as hyperbole. I'm not saying it to be dramatic. This is the reality. This is how populations are eliminated. It's happened endlessly in human history. And again, unfortunately, we don't have 50 years. We'd be lucky to make it through 15 years without massive economic and political devastation, because the same deconstruction that happened in the late 1800s is already occurring. There's like literally only one or two things left that they have to dismantle, and it's over. There's no protections. And for what it's worth, because I post this a lot. I know a lot of people believe in this idea of federal protections. They cannot stop a bullet. They cannot stop a racist, psychopath, sociopath who intends to rape your children or kill your parents or burn down your house because somewhere in DC on a piece of paper or on a digital file, there is some bill that says this is for the protection of Black American descendants or whatever term you use. That will never protect us. Laws have never protected us. And if we are not the people enforcing the laws, they never will protect us. And I'll just end with that.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Black Majority Say. Let me give a shout out to EHZX for their contribution on Cash App. We got almost 180 people in here, guys. So for those that can support, if you got $1 that you could donate to Newstoter, to the curation platform, $Newstoter, $Newstoter. We got a bunch of people up here and we need that support. We definitely need that support to grow the platform. Once again, $Newstoter, $Newstoter. Let me go ahead and get to Black Pressure. Is Black Pressure still up here? Okay, let me get to Black Pressure. And then I got Black Pressure, I got Mark, I got Marcel, I got Agosh, I got I Am, I got I Hate the Demon Rat. So we got all you guys lined up. We had forgot you. Go ahead, Pressure.
All right, let's check this out. I think that I am a very reasonable person. I think I've proven that in these spaces over the last year and a half. I think I'm very reasonable, even when I've been in situations where I've vehemently disagreed with someone and we counterpointed each other. I think I'm a reasonable person. I'll say that about myself. So what I'm going to do is let me dust off my broken record, because I'm going to say something I've said before. With this room, there's a few people in this room that like to feed off each other's synergy. So I say that I'm going to give you an illustration, right? But I'm going to, if you allow me, I'm going to use juxtaposition to illustrate my point, right? So check this out. When it comes to voting, I employ linear thinking. I'm a straight line thinker when it comes to voting. So let me explain what I mean. You take the demographic of black Americans, right? So I can take that people group and I can look at that people group and I can say, hey, we were employed by the country we live in, that if we wanted a change in our condition, we were employed to vote. We were employed to vote. Voting will change your condition, right? So, like I say, take our demographic, take the Black Americans. We literally sacrificed our lives to stand at the poll to vote, to change our condition. We were hung from trees. We were gunned down. German shepherds sticked on us. Water hoses, buried in shallow graves, chased by death squads. Even one of my personal heroes, Fannie Lou Ham, I was reading about her a couple of days ago. This woman was registering Mississippi voters. People fucking Klan bust their head wide open. One side of her face looked like a watermelon. We were implored by this country that voting will change our condition. So you take the Voting Rights Act, let's say 1965, I'm going to make the math easy for dummies like me. 1965 to now. This is 60 years later. We were floored. We were told that voting changes your condition. You vote if you want to make a change. The smoke cleared 60 years later. Black people are at the bottom of every statistical category you can pull out your behind. All the institutions that control every aspect of our lives, you get the justice system, education, military, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to say all that. I could go on and on and on. Black people control none of those institutions, not even a minuscule amount of those institutions. So you take that category, we're going to leave us right there, right? We sacrificed our lives to vote, right? Now I'm going to take the second demographic. You take the LBGT, and I'm going to take another demographic. You take the legal aliens, not a dummy like me who practices linear thinking when it comes to voting. I'm a straight line thinker. I say, okay. I look at my four appearances. The ground is their blood is all over the ground we walk on every day just for us to vote, right? I look at the LBGT, right? They have crime bills protecting them not from action, but from actual thought. You can't say anything about these people under threat of either fine or going to jail. You look at illegal immigrants, right? These people come in here, these people get free medical care, these people get free education, get a debit card with $10,000 on it, right? You can not take all those three different demographics I just gave, right? How many of them and how many of their four parents' blood litters the ground? And how many of those other two demographics, how long did they have to vote and how long did they have to die to get protections? And you gonna try to sell me on some damn voting? I'll mute up and listen.
All right. Thank you, Black Pressure. Let me give a shout out to Ty as well for his contribution on the Cash App. Let me go ahead and get to Mark. Mark, go ahead and unmute your mic.
So I'll start by saying this. It's not just about voting. It's about getting in position to control the budgets. You don't control budgets unless you have politicians in office that are sitting at the table. So it's not so much about voting, more so than it is about having people there who's making sure that you get cut in on those budgets. But I'll go to the solution because enough talking problem. And that solution, Marcel, people like Marcel, myself, and all those that get it, it's time that we go and get these young people and show them what needs to be done. It's too late for a lot of the older black people. Way too late. You're wasting your time on them. They're too old and hard-headed. Let's get these young people like the military. The military don't recruit in no old folks' homes. And what I mean by old folks, I'm saying 35, 40. They're going high school. They ain't got time to be talking to no old hard-headed people. Talking back, you know what I'm saying, about stuff they don't understand. So they go and get young people. And so it's time we go get these young people. As bad as one may try to paint them to be, it's better for us to spend our time with them and showing them how to access these resources. Create millionaires out of them. Reversing the impact of these disparity studies with these young people. Now that doesn't exclude those that are of age, but we're only talking about those of age that get it. The rest of them, let them die off. Let them die off, y'all. Because you'll find yourself 10 years from now, if we have 10 years, trying to explain to them. And so we go to the young people, show them, walk them right through it. This is what we do. It's not something that I'm just speaking of on this stage or in this space. This is something that we do as the parents of children right now and grandparents of children. My daughters are my business partners. I don't have any sons. And so this is about us opening these doors for them, not wasting time on a bunch of people who think they understand some stuff that they've never been involved in. Most of them talk never been involved. And so, Marcel, all of us, I mean, we had better grab a hold of these children, because the move that the Democrat Party is making right now, well, let me rephrase that. The move that the Uniparty, which are Democrats and Republicans, are making with immigration is to totally annihilate the way they did in Minnesota, Florida, New York, California. They annihilated not just Black Americans, but Americans. Them Somalis, they are empowered in Minnesota. And those same Zionist Jews that helped go against the Black people, when the Somalis got empowered, they crossed them too. Same thing with the Mexicans in California. And you keep on talking about white supremacy, all this stuff you want to say. When it comes down to these local cities where these people are, those people that you knew of yesterday, them Ku Klux Klan, white racist Republicans, they ain't empowered. They are not empowered in those places. These immigrants came here to take over. They were brought here from the beginning to undermine us. The Davis-Bacon Act was about undermining us. If you don't know about the Davis-Bacon Act, go read it. The Davis-Bacon Act was those Irish and Italians who were funded by those Jews to burn our towns down, to use the unions to make sure that you never get jobs and opportunities in the high-paying trades. That's what the Davis-Bacon Act was about, which is when the AFL-CIO went to meet with Davis and Bacon, those two congressmen, to make sure that Black never be the workforce of America ever again. And ever since then, where you see our people, it's going to be such small numbers that it don't really matter. So we're going to stop wasting our time. Let's go get these young people. Those of us that understand it, it's been involved. Let's get these young people so they have a better future. Because again, they're going to have to take care of their crazy parents anyway, later on down the line.
All right.
Hey, Mills, give me 10 seconds. Can I have 10 seconds, Mills?
Real quick, because we're going to...
literally 10 seconds.
Real quick. Okay, real quick, because then we're going to move it on to the speakers. And we just real quick for Black Pressure, and we're going to limit the time that the speakers going to, but go ahead.
Look, I'm going to do what Mr. Carter said. I'm going to take Generation Z, my 23-year-old son. But you can substitute this for any 23-year-old you want. Take a 23-year-old Black kid, male, female, put them in a room, put them on a stool, surround them by the finest political minds in America, and tell them one thing. Say the only question you can ask the finest political minds is, how has voting changed the condition of Black people in America? Mute up and listen.
All right. Let me go ahead and get to Marcel. Marcel, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Thank you, Mark. I don't know what we're not getting. It's not about, it's not about us voting. It's about us taking over the system. Voting is just the last part of an entire process. If the only time we choose to get involved is when it's time to vote, then that's our fault, because we sat out the most important part of the process. That's getting our people in office. They don't have, when I say our people, I'm not talking about another Black face. It could be a white face. When I say our people, I'm talking about those who are going to fight on our behalf. If we sat out that part, if we didn't go out there and build candidates, and we didn't become the candidates, and at the end of the day, we got to vote for crap, and then crap, that's our fault for not getting our people on that ballot. That is how things get changed. These other groups that people in office that are willing to fight for them and who are afraid of disappointing them. Those people know that they don't represent the groups that got them in office. It's going to be hell to pay, because those groups are coming for them. We have failed to do that. That's our fault. If we are so big, bad, and scary, then we need to let the people who represent us know that we're big, bad, and scary. If they are not doing anything for us, guess what? They're saying we're punks. We're not as big, bad, and scary as we think we are. Because if you know how you measure if you're big, bad, and scary, is when the people in office dare not cross you,
dare not betray you, and they dare not do all these things for these other groups without doing anything for you. If they are doing all those things, they're betraying you, neglecting you, talking down to you, disrespecting you, then you're just not as big, bad, and scary as you think you are. And that goes for all of us. Number two, where's black majority states? Okay, I get what he's saying about this immigration exposure, but he was saying a lot of defeatism, and I don't go with that. We are actually just as vigilant as our groups in the past. I strongly disagree with him. We got to get rid of this romanticizing of the past. Even in the past, they said during the Civil Rights Act, there was 20% involvement from what I've read about of our people in general in the Civil Rights Movement. There was never a time where all of us were involved. Even during the days of slavery, slave revolts, you had some people who were on the plantation enslaved who would not fight against the white enslavers. That was slavery, when we all knew we were going through hell. And yet some of our people refused to participate in the fight for our freedom. Some of them would even look out for the white enslavers. If we couldn't get everyone on board then, why are we thinking we're going to do the same thing now? We don't need everyone on board. We just need those of us who are in this movement to be active. And we are failing to do that. We are failing to do that. And not enough of us are being called out for doing that. Now, we all have our different roles to play. But what I get tired of hearing, that those of us talk about, so, well, I'm not a politician. I don't do politics. We got to do what we need to do. Don't say things like we got to do what we need to do. And then when someone says, well, you're going to do this, you didn't say, well, what you can't do. That's not what you were meant to do. I wasn't meant to run for political office, but I'm doing it because we need someone to run for political office. We need many people to run for political office. We need many people to help people get in political office. So if we're not willing to do that, then we can't complain about all the stuff that's going on right now. Well, we can, but it's not going to change anything.
All right, thank you, Marcel.
I'm dropping.
Oh, okay. I thought you were done.
Yeah, no, I'm done.
Okay. Yeah, I thought you had finished up. Let me go ahead and get to I'm gonna get to Agush. I hate. I got I am and I got Rella. They're gonna be the last speakers for the night, guys. They're gonna be the last speakers for the night. So Agush, I think it's Agush. Agush, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yes, thank you for having me. It's Agush. Everybody formerly knows me well. Still know me as Benz. What I'm going to submit tonight is actually just a strategy, my personal strategy at the moment. My strategy has not necessarily swayed from 4 or 5 years ago, but it definitely has evolved. Because I'm now I hear a lot of people say this thing about voting from the couch, quote unquote. It's like, okay, fine. If you want to declare that you're going to vote for the couch and swear to vote for the couch, then the problem is not necessarily your personal choice to do so. The problem is that that's where it ends at. If you leave your vote on the couch, then does that mean that you're also going to get active, or you're going to represent the person that's not there for you to vote for? If you feel like voting doesn't matter, are you going to be the matter that other people can rely on in your community, or you're just going to typically when people vote for the couch, they don't have no other strategy, and they become a shadow, so they're not actively involved on any level of government. They're not out there speaking about anything to do with moving forward, or even pushing forth a strategy or further methodology of voting for the couch. And that's what's very problematic, because if I say, hey, I don't see nothing, I don't see no results, I'm going to ask myself, why is that? And you're 99% of the time you're going to come and you're going to fall on the notion that there's not someone there to represent you or your community, and that's why you haven't been getting the results that you want. Or maybe there's someone not speaking for you. In other words, you're underrepresented. Now, we have in our history as Black people, I don't know when people got this idea that we, aren't into politics, or politics never mattered. Even this, it's a fallacy for someone to say that voting has never got us anything. It's a fallacy to even ask that question. It's so many, proof concepts and outcomes.
Tell me one.
Listen, I didn't interrupt you.
Yeah, let him finish, Black Pressure. Go ahead.
I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole with you, because I can line them all up.
Pressure. Go ahead. Let him finish up. Go ahead.
Here's a big one for you. Look at where we are today, and look at where we were 4 decades ago. Look at where we were 3 decades ago. Look at where we were 5 decades ago. Like in every different arena. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like we literally came out of enslavement with less than zero wealth, and went into sharecropping, and after sharecropping, went into in segregation. We ended up in an integrated, not only integrated economy, but integrated communities and so forth. Which, yes, there's problems within it, and that's still the reason why, even more than ever, that we have to be more effective and more present in voting. So, that is literally like we literally voted and pushed certain policies that had its problematic outcomes and detrimental outcomes, but we also pushed policies that's led to beneficial outcomes as well. It's just that they also have been utilized to benefit other groups of people. But we can't deny that. That's something that we have to learn and overcome. Now, my strategy is to take over. My strategy, all lines are taking over. And part of doing that is representation. Hands down, America has the best political system than any other country. You can't deny that. All right? So you can't say that we're going to do one thing and you can't present this idea that we're going to arm ourselves and go against this country, because we've already empowered this country. We've always submitted and committed to this country. Enough bloodshed to where we made this country a world power, economic power, and political power. You know what I'm saying? So, it's kind of like a moot point to even say that that's the route that we need to go. What we need to do is literally get into the game. Because if you want to talk about not voting, then I'm going to tell you, don't touch a dollar. Don't spend any money. Don't use the currency. Because the same person that would say, vote for the couch and don't get involved in politics, would sit there and go to work and work for the same company that's invested into the legislators and legislation and into lawmakers and into policy makers and so forth, and empower these people, and then go out there and spend the money and go pay for their mortgage.
So not vote and quit my job. 15.
Pressure. Come on, man. Let the man finish up. And hey, Gush, go ahead and wrap it up, because we got to move on too.
Unless you talk about not using a dollar, I don't want to hear nothing about you not voting. You know what I'm saying? Or voting doesn't matter. Voting doesn't count. My strategy is this. If you're not going to vote, or you're not going to participate in that level of politics, be the politician. If you're not going to be the politician, then be the activist or revolutionary of whatever stance you're going to take. Don't tell other people to vote for the couch and then you sitting at home eating popcorn while you're working every day and making a livelihood for yourself and your family. Because you're not making no sense with that. It's contradictory. Lastly, you have three levels of government. I say that your first step should be getting 100% involved in your local government. Go to these school board meetings. Go to the election for the sheriffs. Go to the elections for if you have commissioners or your board of members. It's all the places they got called. Forgot what they call it upstate. I'm in Georgia. I'm in Athens. I'm in the unified government. Go to where they vote for your mayor. You know what I'm saying? Go to these board and commission meetings and get involved and understand how money is being spent. Someone brought about Detroit earlier about how the money.
Hey, bro, you got to land your plane. Yeah, you got to land it.
I posted in the Jumbotron. The reason why that Detroit got that money and all that money to spend was because of ARPA, which we have access to that. But the Office of Americans walks these people into getting access to billions of dollars in capital, which we also have access to. We just don't have the resources that's holding our hands. So I tell y'all, and I challenge everyone in here to look at the policies I posted in the blue pill, such as the EO 13985. That's Executive 13985. Look at that and figure out how to get access to those billions of dollars sitting on the table. Because right now, most people that get access to and other walk right into these policies, and that's how they take advantage of all this money. And it's there for us to take advantage of too. But they knew that we wouldn't have the tools to get to it. I'm done.
All right, thank you, brother. Let me go ahead and get to. I hate. I can't see your profile. I hate the demon rats. I hate the demon rats. You there?
Oh, okay. Okay, yes, okay, goodness Lord. Okay, I'm gonna speak to illegals taking jobs and this is harming us. I think that we know that, we can see it and we can see that the Democrats are the ones that are pacifying them and sympathizing with them. We see a lot of sympathy coming from out of the Democratic Party. And Trump, and matter of fact, I'm going to piggyback off of what Mark Carter said. That ain't to be funny, but the Republican Party is not lying to us. And I think we're so used to being played. We want to hear somebody, tell you how fine you are, and they turn around like, man, I hate to come home and fuck her. I'm so sorry. I hate to come home and sleep with her or him or so on, right? Because I'm sorry. I do know this is a family-friendly show, so I do apologize. And I think that when the Republicans said that, hey, we don't need y'all, it is what it is. I think it'd be smart of us to run while we're ahead. It's not looking good for us. We don't want to say this, and I think it hurts us to say this stuff. It hurts. But I think we were better off politically 4 years ago when we had Trump by the whatever, and he was really like, shoot, hey, look, it was ready. But I think that the Democrats scared us so bad, or enough of us so bad that we, at the last hour, like, man, you know what? Either the couch, like you just said, or you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and vote in Biden because I don't like the way Trump talks. He talks bad to us, even though he didn't really say nothing to us. To be honest, truly be honest, it was the fact that the Democrats pushed the fact that he was talking crazy to everybody else, and we felt that. We felt the fact that the Hispanics and him talking about the third world countries, and we're like, oh, we don't like that. We don't like that, even though we're in a bad predicament. And the same people that we help pacify is the same people sitting at your boards looking at you like, okay, well, ma'am, you don't qualify, and no, we don't do anything that's race-based, and no, we don't believe in anything that's lineage-based. You need to work hard. You need to go ahead and go into the library and finish your work. I don't know what else to tell you. And we're not playing hardball with these folks. And I feel like I'm going to end with this because I was falling asleep, to be honest. Let the Democrats fall.
Yeah, that's who that is.
Yeah. Let the Democrats fall. We have no choice to at this time. We have no choice but to let them fail because the people that's sitting at the top are eating off of our backs. And if we move and let everything fall, then they fall too. And I think that they understand that. I don't think we understand that. We really think that we really need the Democrats. I feel like we should be talking to them the way that the Republicans was just straight up with us. Like, hey, we don't really need you like that. We got our base. But we're willing to work with you, though. We're willing to do a little bit more than what they're doing for you. Matter of fact, they're pushing you all the way out. And they're not lying to us. And again, we want to be pacified and played with. And I don't think the Republicans gonna play with us. They're just gonna tell us like it is. Like, hey, this is what it is. And for the Democrats, they're gonna keep playing with you until, and I'm about to land here, until the Democrats is gonna, somebody's mic.
Yeah, that's me. I was getting ready to have you get ready to land your plane, but go ahead.
Oh yeah, I'm landing now. Okay, so I think that the Democrats they ain't got pushed out yet. They need one hard good push and for us to walk away for good, like Umar said.
All right, thank you, sister. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you, America. When did you change that name?
I am. Go ahead. I am. You got it.
Peace, power, and Negro reparations, family. How y'all doing? Happy pre-Juneteenth. I hope y'all all are preparing to have a beautiful day tomorrow, raising that red, blue, and white flag, or that red, gold, and black flag tomorrow. I just want to direct your eyes to the Jumbotron. You're lovely.
Hey, I am real quick. I just want to for those who may know or don't know, legendary baseball player Willie Mays. I'm hearing died today. Died must have been tonight. So I just want to give my thoughts and prayers to his family, to the legendary immortal Willie Mays. I know it's one of my father's favorite players of all time. So just want to go ahead. But I'm sorry, I am. Go ahead. You got it.
Yes, your boy Jim Crow Joe is put forth an amnesty to make 500,000 illegal immigrants U.S. citizens. This is what he's planning to do. I put both articles in the Jumbotron. Please take a look at them. But let's get to work, people, because this is very serious. Very, very serious. I'm sitting here talking to my neighbor now who's been living in the city for 30 years. We've been to a city council meeting one time. We got to do better. I've been living in the city 6 months and been there 3 times. We gotta do better, family, because this is very serious, and the future of our people is in jeopardy. So I don't know what we don't need to be focused on the president like this gentleman is. We live in states, counties, and cities, and we need to get active in these states and counties and cities ASAP. All right? I love y'all. Y'all have a safe night. Make sure y'all have a safe and beautiful Juneteenth.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Happy Post-Father's Day, brothers.
Okay.
All right.
Post-Father's Day, you beautiful Black American men.
Thank you. Appreciate that, sister. Let me go ahead and get to hold on, guys. Real quick, because we can already close this space out here in a second. Let me go ahead and get to Rella real quick, and Pressure and guys, y'all already spoke. I'm gonna get ready to close this thing out. The Agave, I don't know, is that your name down there? But we'll let you get it in real quick, and then we're gonna be closing this space out. DJ does have a space plan. He does have a space plan afterwards too, so there's gonna be a space after this. But Rella, real quick, I'm gonna give you a couple minutes, and then we're gonna get to the other person, a couple minutes, and we're gonna be up out of here. But you got it.
You got 1 minute. You know what, Professor? You already know what I'm going to say, but I don't want to waste it. I can finish out what I want. I can finish out what I need to say in DJ space, but I'm gonna put it like this. No one's wrong. I think everybody needs to stop trying to strong arm the conversation of leaving each other behind. I don't believe in just focusing on the young people, because you're not talking young people business when you go up and talk to them wrinkly Caucasians when they ask for your vote and they tell you to turn the cheek from one party to the other. I'm going to say it again. Put yourself in a position so that you can find power. Understand your state, local, and federal representatives and where the power lies, and get active in your community and talking to each other. I think that is our biggest issue, is that we don't want to talk to each other. We want to talk at each other. And it's time we talk to each other and give each other the tools so we can make moves. I'm no longer worrying about whether or not you utilize the information. I just want to be a vessel to put it out there. But I can finish up my statement in DJ space. Peace, love, and freedom and reparations. Peace.
All right, thank you, Rella. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. At the bottom, Agabaka. I don't want to butcher your name.
That's fine. Thank you for putting me on. I want to appreciate everyone on the platform. I've been listening to you.
Hey, Professor, chill out, Professor. Y'all go ahead, because we're trying to close the space out. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say it is very important for us to continue to come together, to talk, and to grow. We all need each other, Black Americans, Africans, and diaspora. If we come together, we are stronger, and we can demand more with our bulk of votes. With one voice, we can defeat the bigger enemy, which is white supremacy. We can demand more from all these politicians, and we can also hold political powers, and we can hold them accountable. So together, we'll win. Together, we'll move forward. I just want you to be reminded that together we could win. Africans in diaspora and the Black Americans, we're one. And that's the vision of our, ancestors, and that's their dream. Thank you.
All righty. Thank you for coming up speaking tonight. So on that note, y'all, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get ready to close this thing out for the night. Like I say, DJ has a space coming up as well, too. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm getting ready to kick it out. Lonnie, what's up with the thumbs down? Is it because I'm closing the space out, or is it because of the last speaker? No, I hope it's not because I'm closing the space.
No, you know one is the last speaker.
I know. I saw giving a thumbs down. But all right, so let me go ahead.
I tried to come up here earlier, but I got kicked out the room. I wasn't sure. You know what I mean? She came out to speak it now. That's probably why too.
Oh, okay.
I got see, look, I guess the right.
Yeah, the space. Early tonight, the space was jacked up. So I don't know, but Wani knows that if she wants to come and speak, she can always speak. So, but on that note, guys, we're gonna go ahead and shut it down. We will holler at you guys. We may do a space tomorrow. I'm not sure. So peace. If not, everybody have a good Juneteenth as well too. So peace, and go check out DJ Space. Getting ready to start shortly.
Right now. All you